Yo, salute. Nick's Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Nick's Real Talk, we all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine, Bronx, Jedi, 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Nick's Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight.
Nick's Real Talk, let's get it poppin'. We hoppin' like toppin' in the Jumpman brand, ain't no stoppin'. Divine and Bronx, Jedi, 7-6. We lit from Facebook, Twitter to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno, the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them likes below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up, cause it's Nick's Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Now you place the chats, when I pace that under space where our face is at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle throughout the handle on the panel. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Nick's Real Talk. Nick's Real Talk.
Yo, salute. Nick's Real Talk. What's going on, everybody, man? Salute to everybody out there, man. Friday night, man. We about to get into it a little bit, man. I know it's not too much going on out there. We're gonna get into the center position battle between Nerlens Noel and my man Mitchell Robinson. We're gonna break that down a little bit. Just get into it, man. I know it's not a lot going on out there. There's not a lot of Nick talk. You're probably out there on a Friday doing your thing, but salute to everybody out there. I'm glad y'all in the building, man, and everybody. So listen. We're going to get into it. But first and foremost, man, I hope everybody out there in the metropolitan area, man, and up and down the East Coast doing well after that tornado, that hurricane that we had. Ida, man, kind of did a lot of damage up the way, man. I know a lot of you guys are trying to get back into your regular ways, man. But that was something else to see all that water up there, man, and all that destruction what that water could do. But I hope everybody doing well up there, man, and wherever it happened at. And you guys just be safe. And I hope y'all recoup real well, man, and get back to normal, man. But that's a tough thing to go through with that hurricane, man. So I'm just wishing everybody well, man. That's real talk. And other than that, man, I'm just here today on a Friday night real quick, man, to jump in for a couple of hours and just get into some Nick talk, man. I heard the center position is up for battle. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that thing pan out, man. And we're gonna get into that a little bit, and any other Nick talk that we're gonna get into, man. So salute to Will in the chat. The streets are buzzing. And everybody, man, we're just gonna get into it. And I'm gonna break it down. My man BX is doing the Yankees the watch along, so hopefully he get to come in later, man. But he's doing the Yankee watch along, so salute to BX Jedi on that side and everybody else, man. But yeah, man, I was interested, man. I want to get into this Mitchell Robinson thing, man, for all those who still interested. And I know it's, like I said, it's a Friday night, everybody out and about that don't having a good time, man. But I just want to get into that because it's interesting knowing that they done signed Noel. Mitchell Robinson got a contract extension coming up. So they're gonna be battling for that spot. Per Bleacher Report, they said, Noel Noel got a chance to go in and battle for that starting spot. So it's gonna be interesting when training camp get here, how amped both of the guys are about that situation. Mitchell Robinson coming into a contract year. He want to prove himself. Nerlens Noel got his back a little money, man. So he want to prove himself that he belongs here. So I think that's gonna be real interesting, man. That's why I kind of brought the topic up tonight. Because I really want to see. That's one of the positions in the Knicks that's not totally set in stone yet. Randall's set in stone. Barrett's set in stone. Fournier set in stone. Other than Kemba and Derrick Rose, which most likely Derrick Rose remain on the starting second unit because that's where he flourishing well at. And and I'm gonna get my man CT here with me, and we're gonna get into that, man. And so like I said, man, other than that, them spots there, I think that center spot can be wide open between Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel, depending on how Tibbs and everybody feel about it, man. So we're gonna get into all that, man. I'm gonna have my man CT come in. We're gonna break it down. And CT, the streets are buzzing. What up, my brother?
Hey, up Divine, doing well. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good hit this on a Friday night, man. Want to get in here, talk this Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel thing because it was interesting that I read on Bleacher Report that they really like Nerlens Noel got a shot to go in there and try to compete for that job. So I really want to see, talk about that tonight, man, because I'm looking forward to that because I do think I'm a Mitchell Robinson guy, and I think he got a lot to bring to the table. And then coming to a contract year, CT, I just really think that he got to get out there and prove himself. Stay healthy and get out there and be able to get that bag, man. You know what I mean? Get ready to get some, get that extension. So I know he's gonna be playing hard, getting at it. And then Nerlens Noel got his, you know what I mean? And now he got to prove that he's worth his $10 million. So I just think it's gonna be interesting to see that battle going through training camp. Who comes out on a victorious side at the starting center in New York for sure.
Yeah, great topic. Ready to chop it up with you. And yeah, man, that 5 spot's a battle. Who knows what's going to happen? And I think there's a lot of things that can play out with Nerlens. With the issues he's got with the lawsuit. That's another thing we can touch on.
Yeah, fact. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. And I do really think that's going to be a good battle because, like I said, Mitch coming off of last year injury, and had an injury-prone season last year, so he didn't really get to do what he wanted to do. And Noel held it down, rightfully so, and that's why he got that extension. You know what I mean? He was, he helped the Knicks get to the playoffs. He played them games that Mitch didn't play. And that was almost like 40-something games basically because Mitch only played like 31, something like that. So and in the shortened season, he really got to get his foot wet and stay in that starting center spot and help them guide the Knicks to where they had got to. So I think rightfully so that the Knicks kept him. He got a little money, and now he's gonna come to training camp. Like I said, man, he's gonna listen, man. I held it down last year. I need to prove myself that that I can hold it down again. So I just think it's gonna be a real good battle to have, and I really believe that in training camp that is gonna really gonna be an interesting tale of two different centers, man. They both got a similar game, but I just think Mitch, to me, can play a little bit more better offensive rebounding, a little better lob threat. Put back game is crazy, tapping game is crazy. CT, and he does a lot of little things that goes unnoticed. And I'm gonna drop a video on that in a few minutes. Just the game he had against Indiana, and you could kind of see the things that he do, and the reason why I think he would makes him a special player. You know what I mean? That he covers a lot of ground, and in that game, last year that when I videotaped, and I'm gonna play in here, man, it was against Indiana and Miles Turner them. You know what I mean? So. And that was a good game. Knicks won that by 2, and it was interesting. He played in that game, and his effect on what he could do, and I think it was really good. But yeah, man, I think Mitch and Noel gonna be a really good battle. CT, I think it's gonna be a really good battle in training camp. I'm dying to see how that thing gonna pan out.
Who do you think Tibbs? If you're Tibbs, who do you think he has it, in his mind as the guy, to start with?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I would have to say right now because he played that whole year last year, and when Mitch went down and he really helped him, I think he probably took a liking to Noel, and that's why they brought him back. You know what I mean? Tibbs might have had a lot to do with Noel coming back. You know what I mean? But I can't underestimate what Mitchell Robinson could do too. But if I had to lean Tibbs, I would lean toward not Mitchell Robinson, sorry, Noel right now, CT, just because he played so many games last year and he got to really, showcase that he could hold it down for a while at that center spot. You know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna just lean that way though. I think it's Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, it could be. Let's say Mitch comes into preseason, looks like he hasn't missed a step. He's getting putbacks, lobs, looks healthy. I could see him inching out Noel for the season opener again, like we thought last season. But I could also see, him having to keep it as it was, keep that same look and bring Mitch, bring him along slower off the bench, ease him in. I could see that as well. But I also think this Miles Turner, trade thing that's out there. Does Jericho Sims look like look like he can contribute as well? If he looks like the real deal, on a bargain deal, 58th pick, that's going to open up a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's so interesting about that. That's why I think training camp gonna be something, because if Jericho Sims go in there and showcase something that the Knicks brass and Ted like to see, that can shake up a lot of things. You know what I mean? It really can. But the thing is, you would have to sign Mitch before training camp. If you don't sign him before training camp, then he's just unrestricted. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Correct,
training camp is, man, that's the 29th. So between training camp and the start of the season, anything can happen down there. So I think that's going to be interesting to see, man. And you know, and right now, if you look at, I'm gonna just go with Mitchell Robinson's stats. You know, in 2018 and 19, you know, CT played 66 out of 82 games. You know, he averaged 7 points a game, 2.4 blocks, total rebounds 6, and you know, so his field goal percentage obviously was 6.94. Then that next year, he came in 7.42 high, broke Wilt Chamberlain's record. His rebounding numbers went up to 7 a game. Blocks with 2 a game, only went down 0.4%, but he went up points. He went up to 9 points a game that season. So he was really putting up 9 to 7 in his second year. You know, what's interesting about that in his last year, obviously, you know, he was 8.3 a game, and he was averaging somewhere around total rebounds, 8 rebounds a game. So he's 8 and 8. But you know, even in the second year when he played 61 games, that was a shortened season. They only played 66, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know, he played out of 66 games, he missed 5, which is not bad. You know what I mean? So his percentage, and then last year obviously was the one that really killed him. So you know, if you look at all the games that he's played and the games that he missed, and he's around 80% of his career. You know, that's not bad. You know what I mean? It's not bad. But just last year just really put took that away from him. And that, you know, like I said, a broken hand, and a fractured hand, a broken hand, and a broken foot. Thank God they not the basketball injuries that you think like, man, okay, he got Achilles here, he got a meniscus tear. You know what I mean? It's not one of them lingering things that you think for the rest of his career is going to be a problem. Hopefully, you know, that just was one of them bad, wrong place, wrong time type of injury. You know, you stepped down, came down on somebody's foot, you fractured it, or you went up for. I think when he broke his hand, I'm not sure if he came down and he swung to hit somebody on the shoulder or somebody like that, but I can't remember. But I mean, it's freak accidents. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't want to label him an injury-prone player, because it was a freak accident. But you know, we had to see, man. Yeah. If he's healthy, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, to that point, that one at the rim, like you can't say a player's putting their hand into their rim and breaking their hand. You can't say that's injury prone. That's any hand can hit the rim and get broken. You know,
yeah,
to your point, the foot one was like he came down and you know, he hit the other foot and rolled. And now if he had a fracture already, you know, maybe he had some micro fracture already part of the foot that made it happen. Maybe that's a thing. But look, Noel's not injury prone either. You know, Noel can susceptible. He's built of tissue paper, you know. So yeah, we can't really go into a full season with just him as the option anyway. I think both of them complement well, and I think Mitch has a difference maker. You know, did you see those videos on Mitch about, you know, blocking shots at the 3-point line and then covering the hedging on Trae Young's pick and roll? You know,
that was phenomenal.
Yeah, that just gave me excitement.
Absolutely. I think I was looking at that guy. I think I don't know, it was Twitter or Bleach Report. I can't pronounce his name, Aldo something. But then with some great videos he put out there. There were some really great videos. I like, people need to kind of, they can ever look at that and see with the way he broke them down. He did the Portland game. He did but he did a phenomenal job on that, man. It showed you some of the things that Mitchell Robinson can do that some of these cats can't do. You know what I mean? And I just think that was interesting to really see, man. And I was happy about that. Because Mitchell Robinson is a unique player. He's like, to me, he's like a real unicorn. You know what I mean? What the guy could do at 7 foot, man, and his athleticism and everything that he exemplifies on that defense end, man. That's pretty tough. So you know, let me jump in that Indiana game, that video, and we'll see what Mitch was doing. KJ, salute, man. I'll throw the link in there, brother, if you want to get on. Salute to you, and it's right there.
Salute, KJ. Hope you're well.
Yeah, fast. Right here go the one that Mitchell Robinson against Indiana. And just check out what this cat could do on the court, man, and what we was missing last year, which I think would be important when you see some of these things.
I don't mind if they get hot, you know me, but get hot tomorrow.
Payton goes inside and has his second field goal. He has played well. Shot clock deep again at 6.
Miles is causing a problem there. Mitchell was able to get it tapped in. What did they shoot from the 3-point line, partner?
They were red hot.
Okay. Let's keep it in perspective there. I mean, because Randall went to the middle, they throw it back out. This is a tough cover, but this is where Aaron Holiday has gotten better. And that's the third tip in by Mitchell Robinson, which means
Emmanuel quickly has 4. Sabonis drives on Robinson, and Robinson pins it on the glass.
a lot of contact there, too.
Bullock into
you
the
gotta
corner
get
to
him.
Knox.
Yeah, you got to get to him.
That's the 4th time, Quinn, that he's done that, Mitchell Robinson. So he's missed all 5 of his shots, and 2 of them from three-point range. They lob it up, and Robinson throws it down. Payton turns the corner, shot clock at 9.
Well, I'll tell you what, they have not blocked Robinson off yet.
Pacers have not shot the 3 well, 7 of 22. After they hit 16 of 35 on Thursday against the Cavaliers, they lob it up, and he's made 7 of those. This is the Pacers' biggest lead of the second half. They had a 1-point halftime lead.
I'll tell you, Payton has just saved them, because that was going to be a big turnover.
Pacers have got to get points here. They've come up empty on their last 2 possessions. Brogdon had it blocked.
Man, listen, man. That's what I'm talking about. That freakish athleticism. I just think, and I show you Noel as well next. I think Mitchell Robinson just does certain things that, Noel to me can't do. Not that he can't do, that he don't do. I can't say he can't do it. I just don't think that he does it, and I think Mitchell Robinson, man, he just got that offense rebounding and, and he's all over the place, man. So I really like CT what that young man brings to the table. And that's why I was always a big Mitch fan, because I think for a kid to be that young and, coming out of high school, raw as anything, and able to do what he did in the first couple of years, and even matter if he didn't have the injuries, man, I think the kid would have been something. I think he's still going to be something. That's why I'm excited for him, and that's why I think, to me, why he's that starting center for sure.
Yeah, the whole story that how we got Mitch, 36th pick, we took a risk, it paid off. For us to not continue with him, invest in that would be a bad, result. I think, he's homegrown. Like Mitch, we found something out of nothing, and I think it could be something special. Just what he gives you defensively, is worth investing in for that reason. He can be that neutralizer to Trae Young and the pick and roll against Atlanta. That video you showed us just outlined how crazy it can be. I forgot about that game. Yeah, he had the game-winning block.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I mean. The stuff that he does, Mitchell Robinson could change the game when he's on the floor. I never forget when I go back to what Clyde said. Clyde said when in his rookie year, he said if this cat had a foul trouble, he could dominate a basketball game on both ends of the floor. Because for 7 foot to get up the way he do, and his offensive rebounding, and I think about it now. CT, the man put on, he 275, solid. You know what I mean? And now he's almost like a 4-year veteran now. He's going to his 4th year, so it's not like he know what the NBA is about now. When Mitchell Robinson stepped on the court this year, it's not like he in his 1st or 2nd year. He's going to his 4th year. He done been in the NBA long enough to know, how the game goes now. So it's going to be really interesting to see what him and Noel do. And I think if he come back healthy and he plays, because like I said, CT, like I said earlier, the last stream we had, he missed 40-something games. And I know with him here, we probably could have won 5 of them. Easy. Just because the way he could change the game when he's on the floor. There's a lot of shots that in some of them games last year they probably wouldn't be getting with him on there. Like I said, I like Noel, but I don't think Noel is Mitchell Robinson. I think some things you just born with. That's what I'm trying to say. Something you just born with, and he was born with a gift to be athletic. The kid is just athletic. He born with that, and he got like that instinct like a guard, man. He could be all out on the 3-point line, like you say, blocking 3-point shots. And he able to get back to the paint, and he able to guard multiple zones. It's like how it is sometimes when you got like a dog in the backyard on a leash, but the leash like 20 feet long. The dog can roam all around, but it's like that's how he roll. And so I really think that he gonna be special, man. And I agree with Will. Like Will said, key will be whether Mitch has the agility after the injury, and with the weight. If he do, yeah, right, you're right, Will. I agree, man. If he come back bigger, stronger, faster, Because sometimes, I think if he could put on that weight, but it was muscle gain, not so much, like weight fat gain, and his muscles got stronger, then I can see that happening, man, for sure. Definitely.
Oh, yeah, the sky's the limit. And just as a fan, I want to see a guy like that avoid injury, wherever he plays, if it's New York, if it's with somewhere else, you want to see that potential fulfilled. Like you look at guys we talked on last show about, who's that guy in Boston who got paid, 11 mil. Like these cats don't compare, these cats earning 11, 12 mil. Mitchell Robinson's twice as good as them,
Right.
And that's the thing, you might have to end up paying him, just you can't cheat talent,
Yeah. I think it's not a bad problem to have with that young man. I really do, man. I really believe that, as you get older, hopefully you get wiser. He probably learned the game more. When he first came in, his basketball IQ wasn't at the highest peak, but the young man, he made up for it with his talent, his athleticism, his defense detail. The kid was like, man, blocking 8 a game, falling on the floor, running up to the baseline, knocking people's stuff in the stands. So I think it's a lot going to come down, going to happen with these next month. Because now we're going to see if they're going to get and extend him. But I'm looking forward to him and Noel. I really am. Because like last year, everybody thought Noel was going to come in and take him. I don't think so. I remember last year, but last season, pardon me, everybody was predicting that Noel was going to be starting with Mitch coming out of training camp. I don't think so. I don't think so. Not from when the eye test that I see. I'm like, no, Noel can't do what Mitchell Robinson can do. Noel is a good defense center, a shot blocker anyway, and he plays good. But like I said, I don't think that man is Mitchell Robinson. I think when Noel was in his prime, in his youth, he started out like Mitchell Robinson. Noel did. Noel was a little demon when he was in his rookie year and second year, and but then I don't know what happened at the time went on. But Mitchell Robinson, man, he came out the gate. 36 picks second round, and just like, I'm going to make this team. And you got salute to Scott Perry for believing in him and really giving him the opportunity. He threw him in there. And I think the past year when they had him, Mook Morris, when they had Mook Morris and Randall and Todd, if they would have had Mitch at the 5 to get at that front line some more height that year, you would have had Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randall, and Mook Morris at the beginning. I think it would have been a different story. And that's why I don't understand why Fizdale didn't throw him in there at the beginning of the year. I get Todd as a senior. He's a veteran, but you don't start him over Mitchell Robinson when you got his front line that's averaging only 6'9". 6'8". That was a small front line with Mook Morris in them. I'm like, well, who they gonna out rebound? It was funny, but I think Mitch got it. I think Mitch that's gonna be a good battle. It's gonna be a great battle. I can't wait for it to happen in the next 3 weeks or whatever.
You only need to look at anyone who's got any doubt, on the difference maker. You watch that Atlanta, playoff series. That's a completely different series if Mitch is there. Noel, gave us what he could. He blocked shots. He's just not as athletic. He can't guard that, ice that pick and roll from Trey. Mitch has the length and quickness to stay, up on Trey. To stop the floater, and also quick enough to get back and tip the lob. There's that thread on Twitter that you spoke of. That just shows you what his impact is on the team and that. Remember that Detroit game? I think it was the game before Mitch got injured. He had like his best career game, like 20-20 or something like that.
Right.
That was his coming out. And then after that, he just got injured. So he was on the verge of like busting out. And, I think, the guy wants to get paid, which is fair enough. He's switched up a few agents. So it'd be interesting to see, what Leon Rose, he's the mastermind businessman. What value do you think, has been discussed right now? Because I think they want to lock him up before the season, You can't be going in with that distraction. You can't be going in and plus Mitch will be thinking, if I get one more injury, I want to secure some kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I also think Scott Perry believe in Mitch too. And Scott Perry said that Scott Perry drafted the young man. He's still there. You know what I mean? You know that Mitchell Robinson is the result of the Melo trade, cat spacing him. You know what I mean? So that was interesting to see what Scott Perry did with that. That's why I said Scott Perry. You know, when he sent Melo over there to Oklahoma City, and he got that got that the Enes Kanter and the guys, and they're almost a couple of years salary aspiring, and they got that second round pick. He turned it into Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? So I think that and Mitch know that he got to perform well this year because but I think the Knicks know he's gonna perform well. I mean, like I said, they see what we don't see. You know what I mean? And I think Mitch is on a mission. A young man like that, you know, it seemed like his drive to me is going to put him to another level too. Because being around Julius Randle, being around R.J. Barrett, see these guys rub off on. Being around Todd Gibson, you know what I mean? When Todd came in there last year, that's when Mitch and Noel really started playing. You know what I mean? Then Mitch got injured. I'll never forget when Todd got there, like a couple of games later, Mitch had a 10-point, 16 rebound in the first half. And then that's the game he got injured. You know, he was on his way to another double-double, like 20 and 30 almost. You never know. I mean, that's how he was playing that day. 16 rebounds in the first half and 10 points. I mean, you know, and I just think that he was starting to come into his own. He cut down on committing fouls. He cut down real well last year on that. You know what I mean? And I stayed in the game, stayed on the floor. So, you know, I think it was, a bad luck for him to get that injury. So I do think it's going to be real competitive in the training camp for Mitchell Robinson. I think I think Mitch's going to come out there at the starting five in New York City. I think that man going to go in there and showcase how you get down. And he just going to, let them cats know, man, that, that's why I am who I am. I believe he believes in himself. And I think he worked on his game. He's working on his game. You hear some of his tweets and everything, but he's working on his game, his post moves, and, working on the little things that he didn't get to do. He got this chance last year, not only that, CT, to sit on the bench for 43 games and just kind of master the NBA. You know what I mean? That sometimes you could develop just by being on the bench. And so, he got to sit back and just observe the game, kicking it with Todd or whoever with Novell and them and Kenny Payne and them, showing them what he probably need to do, this and that. So I really believe he's going to be ready. And I will, man. I could see that, man. Could have Thick and Mitch be a secret weapon to contain Giannis? I think Mitchell Robinson would have a stronger body and pretty much hold it down against a lot of people. You know what I mean? Because one thing that's interesting about him, CT, when he get up in the air, a lot of centers in the NBA can't jump like Mitch. A lot of them can't. So when he up there that high, some of those centers be like, man, you know what I mean? And that's why I think it bodes well for Mitchell Robinson for sure.
Hey, I think Tibbs loves Mitch as well. We talk about he likes Noel. I think it's talked about how he likes Mitch, and to your point, he gave him the starting look. There was that same talk we're talking now last season. Is Noel going to get the starting look? Yeah, everyone thought he had a chance, and then Mitch won the spot. So I think Tibbs knows how it goes, what sort of impact he has, and also the biggest factor is Mitch's weight. To Will's point, does he look even better? Does he look stronger? He'll be a demon at the rim. And think about this, with the focus the defense has to play on Julius, RJ, Fournier, Kemba. Mitch is going to clean up on the glass, get them putbacks, like that clip you showed us of Indiana. That's going to happen every night with Kemba misses, Julius misses. The defense don't have enough, to key in on five guys.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I think he could play over the zone too. I think his live threat potential is crazy, and the cat run like a gazillion. You know what I mean? So it's like he this cat get up and down the court. I mean, he does a lot of things, man. He's a freakish athlete. So I really do believe that if his mind is right, going to training camp, Mitchell Robinson's gonna be a problem not only for the Knicks in training camp, but for the NBA. And like I said, Knicks won 41 games. He missed 30 to 40 of them. Man, I mean, they had a top defense as it was. Imagine if he was still there with Noel, both of them. You know what I mean? Him starting and Noel coming off the bench doing the same thing he doing. I just think that it would have made it much more tougher for teams to play against the Knicks. So we're gonna see about that, man. And far as Noel, man, let's get into and let me hit my man Will's point up. He said we'd really like to see Mitch get paid before the season. Yeah, Will, I agree, man. Lock the young man down and have him come into training camp knowing that he's gonna be here and he just ready to ball out. He don't got that. They don't got that weight up on his mind. He ain't got to worry about it too much. But I do believe from all the stuff that I see that I think he's gonna be there, man. I can't foresee them not just just trading them. Because even though Jericho Sims, he's a young guy, he's still nice. He's young though. That's why he got a two-way deal until he's ready to prove himself. We need Mitch. Like you said, what happens if Noel go down? You know what I mean? And then so I think it's important that you sign Mitch, and then you see what the next couple of years bring. If you feel like by next year Jericho Sims ready, then you had that discussion with him and whether to keep him and Noel. Either way it goes, they're both of them tradable. You know what I mean? Which they might not, and they might keep him and Noel to Noel's contract run out, and then they might sign Mitch and keep Mitch to his contract run out. You know what I mean? But they're good problems to have for sure. In New York City, man. I hope they sign my boy, man. I love what I see with that young man, and I just love to see certain things that a lot of players don't do, because you can it's a lot of rim runners, but it's a lot of rim runners don't do what Mitch do on the other side of the ball neither. You know what I mean? They don't go out there and cover that ground like that young man do. That he switch well, and he's a pesky when it comes to causing problems for people. And I just like that about a guy when he's real pesky. And to be a pesky at the center position, normally you get that in guards and forwards, but this cat is all over the place. I'm like, man, he ain't trying to hear it. So we'll see with that, man. Let me throw the clip of Noel, and we compare what Noel did and what he brings to the table. I think this game was against Detroit, if I'm not mistaken, but I got to show it. And
homestand, they have a formidable road stand, 6 consecutive games on the road.
This is the second of 6 consecutive at home. Bridges has had some terrific games recently. He's really developing. Three-pointer won't go. Nerlens Noel with the ball.
Nerlens coming off an 8-point game right recently. Well, 12 points, Mike. For Nerlens, they're bounding.
Another rebound for Noel.
Nerlens coming off an 8-point game right recently. Well, 12 points, Mike. For Nerlens, they're bounding.
Another rebound for Noel. Kicks it back out. Payton wide open for 3 and nails it. The Knicks have hit a couple of threes and lead at 6-0.
5. You can spread the court.
They have been playing small ball. They go inside McDaniels. Shot won't go. They call a goaltend on Nerlens Noel.
Noel had a stupendous play. So off to an auspicious start again.
Graham guarded by Payton. Graham finds a spot, comes up short. Rebound Nerlens Noel. His brother's on the bench. Caleb.
Yeah.
Rozier inside of Washington. Washington can't finish. And Nerlens Noel already with 4 rebounds. P.J. Washington.
Washington finally missed the shot.
McDaniels blocked by Noel. Nerlens Noel with the rejection at the rim, which we've seen time and time again recently. Both teams shooting 54% from the field. Quickly off the bounce, out to Barrett. Barrett for 3 is short. Nerlens Noel, the offensive rebound, but he's called for a...
I've taken 21 threes. They only take 29 a game.
Look at PJ. Squirts inside, was bodied by Noel. Lands awkwardly.
Emmanuel quickly was the Knicks' leading scorer with 17 points in 12 minutes off the bench. Payton, a corner 3. Noel, weak side rebound, goes right back up and in. Emmanuel quickly was the Knicks' leading scorer with 17 points in 12 minutes off the bench. Payton, a corner 3. Noel, weak side rebound, goes right back up and in.
Hornets won on Sunday against Portland. That was a home game. And they want to call timeout right now. As Nerlens Noel.
Yeah, I cut that there. Yeah, I definitely think that he is Mitch's backup though. I just don't think he do what Mitch do. I like Noel, but I think his athleticism, his weight, I think his weight going to be a problem for me against certain type of centers in the league on a night in night out basis. Man, you got to bang with some of these big boys like Embiid, Drummond, and Lopez and all these big guys. I mean, I know he could do his job, but I think Nerlens Noel is a good backup center. And that's why I think coming out of training camp, Mitch going to have that 5 spot. And Nerlens Noel is active. He's an active man. And his good shot blocking ability, offense rebound. Obviously, he can do that. Not as good as Mitch to me, but he could do it. So it's just going to be interesting to see. CT. I really think coming out of training camp, I mean, if I had to put my money on anything, I'm going with Mitchell Robinson for sure.
Yeah, you have to. I think he's just got different tools that Nerlens doesn't have. But I think Nerlens, like to your point, is a solid player, can step up, start for you if you need, but he's more comfortable in that backup. we don't know. This could be the year Noel breaks down. We had him healthy, but maybe it's not the case every year. There's a situation where he could get a lower leg injury. He's got very, very skinny legs. Look at the way he lands awkwardly sometimes. He's susceptible to roll his ankle. He hasn't got the same bounce, same hop. Noel's hop is like half the size of Mitchell's hop. And then I think to me, if Jericho shows out, if Jericho looks like he could be a backup, then I think Nerlens Noel will be in that trade package for a salary match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what it's about to me. I think they sign Mitch, give Mitch whatever they're supposed to give him. I think that Nerlens Noel contract is just there. To me personally, I'm not saying it's the truth, but nothing like that. But just my opinion, it's movable. It's a 2-year deal, because the third is a team option. So it's a 2-year deal. If he balls out, then you got him on a goods deal. And if Noel don't ball out, it's a movable contract because he can help a team. 4 teams wanted him. Prior to him signing back with the Knicks. So it's not like he's not somebody that a team would want to have for $10 million. That's not bad in the NBA for like I said. And with the money he kept getting at the backup center who can help change the game. But I hope he stays here and back up Mitch. I mean that second unit is set with him back there at the 5, and it's in the first unit to be set with Mitchell Robinson at the 5. So I think it's a good win-win thing no matter what. But for us head to head, I like the things that Mitch gives us, man. He reminds me of Noel when, like I said, Noel was a rookie, but except for Mitch is a little bit more freakish. I mean, this cat Noel was like that though. It's amazing when Noel, when I first seen him coming out of college. I mean, he was playing with Philly coming out of Kentucky. Like, man, this young man got springs, shot blocking demon. So, but he's a good guy to have around. Now, and I hope he stick around, and I hope they give Mitch the money and let that be that 1-2 punch at the 5 spot, just like Kemba and Derrick Rose. Give me Mitch and Noel all day. All day, and we can run with that. And I just think that's a good problem to have. For the Knicks, man, with 2 defense demons like that. And at the 5, man, that'd make it hard for a lot of teams for sure. Yeah,
to your point, I think there's no need to pay 2 centers that kind of money. Like I think the Noel deal was set up to be a movable deal. As soon as they can come to an agreement with Mitch, I think that's going to be the player they favor because there'll be money invested as well. And I think it's smart for Mitch too. Secure the bag. Don't be what Noel's situation was, a cautionary tale. Remember Noel rejected that $70 million Dallas deal and is regretting it to this day. So if they present a fair deal, a sizable deal to Mitch, I think he's going to take it. Yeah. Salute Canal, salute to you, my brother. Thanks for chiming in. We see you, my brother. Yeah, man. You get that because you know what? You still young. You get that. You get whatever the Knicks give you, get it. And then look at Clint Capella did. Clint Capella done got when he came into Houston, he got that little deal. Then he got traded. He got the extension in Houston. Then he came to Atlanta. Missed that first year because he was injured. He just got himself an extension. You know what I mean? And on 2 years, $43 million, something like that. Clint Capella got $20 million a year. You know what I mean? On an extension deal. You know what I mean? So you got to give Mitch that money, man. I think Mitch will be a big part of that. And Canal says only $51 million. I don't have no problem giving 13. Yeah, Canal, I have no problem with that, man. I agree with you, man. Give him that money. Yeah, I give him that 13, and you're gonna get something from that young man because it looked like he's getting better. You know what I mean? Like I said, the young man was young. You know what I mean? Coming out of high school and Louisiana, man, and he didn't go to college. Backed out of Western Kentucky. He's the type of guy who been through a lot of things in his first 3 years. So sometimes that builds character. You know what I mean? It builds your character, and it makes you a stronger person when you go through certain obstacles in life, and then you overcome them, and then you come out a stronger person. And I think that what was happening with Mitch. Mitch, he went through them things. When he coming out of high school, all these agents. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you're that young man, some people want to make fun of it, but the man is 19, 20 years old. What the hell do you know about millions of dollars? You know what I mean? And what do we know about how to wheel and deal with money like that when it comes to agents and it comes to so sometimes when you ain't got the right people around in your corner and you're not educated enough because you're still young, you don't know about all this wheeling and dealing that's going on with this money.
Of course he's gonna, he might have to keep bouncing off of agents and that, but that don't mean that was his fault. It's just that, sometimes you got the wrong people in your ear, or you don't got the right people around you, you know what I mean, to tell you right from wrong, or tell you, nah, you shouldn't do this or you should do that. I mean, he's probably one of those guys who, he might, have people who didn't have his best interest, you know what I mean? And like I said, you don't want the Dennis Schroeder situation. You don't want the Noel situation. Like you said, CT, I agree. Go ahead and get your money and go in there and wreak havoc. You know what I mean? And that way, what's good about that, the Knicks know who they got. So they know that Julius Randle, him, and RJ Barrett pretty much for the next 4 years going to be there. At least they know that. You know what I mean? That core right there. And no matter what happens with everybody else, they know them three going to be there. You know what I mean? And along with the, so I think that'd be a good problem to have if they lock him up. And like I said, man, and to Will's point, I think the max is $56 million over 4 years for Mitch, and I say sign it absolutely. In a heartbeat. Yeah. Man. Yep, for CT, you got to sign that.
Yeah, you got to sign that, and yeah, you don't want Mitch to go anywhere. You lose an asset for nothing. If it doesn't work out, you could trade him later. But Mitch is so, you made the point. He's so young. He's plenty of future deals where he could get the bag. He should be all about, getting a fair deal right now and getting paid. Something. He's been on that. To Will's point, sadly, he's been on the same money Joakim Noah has been on in 1 year for Mitch's 4 years.
Right.
That's just sad. Take a deal. Just secure, set yourself up, set your family up. Worry about in a few more years. He'll only be 24, 25 when that deal ends. So, just take it and secure that. Or at least take a big 2-year deal. If the Knicks say, "Oh, we don't want to pay you long term. We want to see you if you're injury free," give him a 2-year 25, something like that.
Oh, right, absolutely, yeah, and that's what I mean. I think he will. I think he will. And good points, Canal. Appreciate you throwing that out there, man. Appreciate that. Yo, man, y'all already know this, man. Knicks Real Talk, man. I got my man CT in the building, Will in the chat, Canal in the chat, man. It's quiet tonight, but hopefully everybody come on later on. We get in, but we having a good time talking about Mitch, and I just think that Mitch he's an interesting dynamic to have for the Knicks. But I do think that if they've signed that young man, and then like 4 years later he ball out, he get his real extension. But you take that money right now and get it, you know what I mean? Because it ain't guaranteed, you know what I mean? So nothing I'm talking about for with life, is not the money. The money is guaranteed. I'm talking about life itself. Nothing is guaranteed. So if you can get that money from the Knicks, and he can be a pivotal part of that team. And I think he might have to look at it the way Julius Randle did. I think Julius Randle might have did Mitch a favor. What I mean by that is, Mitch, you might have to take less to get more. You know what I mean? Take less now, get more later. You know what I mean? And he might have to look at that. And I'm quite sure Randall and all these guys, man, they know what Mitch could do. So I'm hopefully that they all kind of let the man know that we want you to be part of this. We think you are an integral part of this. You make us a better team. You know what I mean? That if you come back the way which we know you will. I don't think the Knicks is worried about his talent. That I like you said, it could be the injury thing, but I do think that you lock that man up.
Yeah, you don't want that situation. Like, if I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to play into this season, without a deal locked up, because all it takes is one broken foot, one other injury, and he loses. Suddenly, he's a reclamation project. He's looking at veteran minimum again. Take the deal, take the cash that's on the table. I hope we start the season with him locked up. Then there'll be no drama, no storyline, to your point, no uncertainty. Just focus on balling out. Focus on his goal is to be the defensive player of the year. He tweeted that out.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, and I think you're right, Dennis Schroeder. Don't be no Schroeder. Yeah, don't do that. And I think Mitch. I think the Knicks in a good place with Mitch. I think Mitch know that. Listen, man, I was injured. The Knicks do have leverage, but I know Scott Perry and I'm not even trying to do that. They're gonna give Mitch a fair deal, and I think that's who Scott Perry is. Scott Perry is not one of them guys he looked like he's a conniver, or he trying to hustle out. He's not. That's not the way he built. I mean, and that's what I love about him, man. He's an honest dude. He's a real honest broker. Come from a real good family. Scott Perry's father, played football. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's a real class guy. That's what I'm trying to say. He class personified. That's who Scott Perry is. He's a class dude, and that's what we was missing in our organization. We needed class. Scott Perry came in 2018. He brought class to that organization. You know what I mean? And I do think he's an honest broker. And if Tom Thibodeau said that he wanted Mitch back, I'm quite sure Leon Rose and Scott Perry, them two, going to sit down and say, what do we think is the best deal for him? You know what I mean? What do you think? What are we willing to give him, and to make him feel comfortable? Like, we not trying to rain on his parade, but also we got to make sure that we looking out for the Knicks. And I think they'll come to the table with that. You know what I mean? And I do not believe for 1 minute the Knicks would try to lowball Mitchell Robinson. The Knicks are not in the lowball business. Because if they were in the lowball business, they wouldn't have gave Noel $10 million. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have gave Noel $10 million. They was about lowballing people. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna give Mitch an honest deal, and hopefully Mitch take it. He roll with it, CT, because I think it's important for us to have him here. And if he come here and he healthy coming out of the gate, I would love to see him in that starting five with those four shooters you talk about with Kemba Walker, RJ, Randall, and Fournier, and Mitchell Robinson. Man, that's a great offense team, because a lot of teams are going to have to try to, it's going to be hard to compete against the Knicks like that, because like I said, if you're not a good defensive team, which you don't have a lot of them in the NBA, because they all about offense shooting, CT. If you're not a good defensive team, you go up against the Knicks this year, and you got Mitchell Robinson back there with them boys on that perimeter shooting like that, you're going to have a problem for sure.
Major problem. Like you said, how do you game plan against five dudes? One dude can pick up all the crumbs and putbacks, and the other four can shoot, can take you on the dribble, alley oops. I think we got a top three roster in the East. No doubt. And if Mitch comes back looking like he is, healthy, bigger, let's see how that looks in training camp. Can you believe that the training camp's in under 1 month away?
Yeah, absolutely. Already, man. Will say I don't want to read a story. They offer him $9 million 9 months.
9 months from now. Yeah, no, I think it's family. I think to your point, they offered Noel 10. He's going to say, look, at least give me the same deal or better. I'm a better player than Noel, right? Mm-hmm. I think Mitch is going to get somewhere around the 12, 13. Mm-hmm. If I had to guess, 12, 13 for 3 years. I think they'll come to an agreement. They'll say 2's a bit too short, 4's too long. Let's meet in the middle and do a 3 year.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and they can put an option in there for either whether it's him or the team. Yeah. I'm hoping they're doing right. But good point, Will. I just can't see that, man. I really can't see them giving him $9 million. And what he could do on the basketball court. You know what I mean? I just don't believe that. Because a lot of people might not really look at his offensive game, because you can't really say he don't have a offensive game because we haven't seen it. You know what I mean? But again, he was young. You know what I mean? That might have been what Fizdale and Mike Miller wanted him to do that year. You just need to get the ball. Yeah, right. It could be that. You get the ball, you hand it to these guys, and you never know. But it is right, Will. I agree with you, man. Training camp is coming fast, man, and so I'm excited about that, man. I'm really excited with that. And from me, my perspective, CT, Nerlens Noel. And like I said, you got to reward him for what he did for us last year, and I think they did, and I think that was fair. You rewarded the man for what he did, and I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? Nick P, salute my brother. We see you. Salute Nick P and Nick P in the building. Like I was saying earlier, all you guys up there in the metropolitan area, man. I hope y'all recover from that Ida situation, man. I was crazy up there. We was with you, man. We were praying for you guys up there, man. I got family up there in New Jersey and all that. They was going through it too. So I hope everybody recovered from that and everybody's safe. But yeah, man. Noel, $10 million, 2 years with a team option, $30 million. So if you put Mitch at 40, 45, I'm still happy with that. You know, even if it's like I said, you can give him what you gave Noel, but I still think it got to be at least 40. You know what I mean? At least 40. Yeah, at least 40. And I think Mitch would take that, and if he ball out them a couple of years, you know, he like, okay, so when my extension come up, they're gonna have to give me something. And now they're gonna have to give me 18, 19. You just got to play it. I think you could live off the money like that, depending on how your lifestyle is. Nick P said 4 years, 48. I'm cool with that too. I absolutely give him 2. I'm cool with that for Mitch. Nick P. I have no problem with giving Mitch $12 million a year. I think that's fair. I think that's real fair. You know what I mean? And then they want to throw incentives in there. You know, can always stretch the contract with incentives too. CT. If you make defense player of the year, hey, we throw you another $1 million in there. If you make this and that, or you make all defensive team, then we throw this in there. You play a certain amount of games, we do that as well. So I think it's a good place to be in, man. Be civilized. Salute to you, my brother. Peace, man. What's going on with you? He said, I like Mitch, but all this is in the business. He needs to show improved season before we give him anything. If he pans out, then most definitely give him the deserve. Absolutely, I agree with you. I think for me, the Knicks know what he could do. You know, that's one thing I'm not. The Knicks know what he could do. You know what I mean? I don't think there's no doubt in my mind that Knicks know what he could do. And now it's all about how long can you do it? Can you be on the court for the whole season and do it? I don't think from a talent perspective the Knicks are worried. To me, when I seen in Mitchell Robinson rookie year to his second year, when during the bubble, when we only played 66 games, he played 61. He started getting better. Then Phibbs come along and he was about to get more better. You know what I mean? So I think they do know that already. I think the Knicks know if Mitchell Robinson play a whole season, this is what this man could do for us. And like I said, I think they probably see what the man doing in practice. You know, like I said, if the Knicks didn't believe in him, they wouldn't have sent that contingency down to New Orleans. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have sent Kenny Payne to New Orleans and working out for him, having the Kenny Payne down there with him. Mitchell Robinson was at a lot of places when the contingent was there. You know what I mean? And so that tells me that they vested in him. And I believe Scott Perry he drafted Mitchell Robinson. I just know when they drafted Mitchell Robinson, we already knew he was a steal. You know, we already knew he was a steal. CT at the 36th pick, they knew he was a steal. And then when I seen what he was doing on that floor, and I'll never forget, like I said, that 8-shot block shot game against Orlando when he laid on that floor and Mitchell Robinson jumped up and ran. When I see that young man do that in his rookie year, I'm like, he a keeper. It ain't too many dudes in the NBA do what he do. They don't do what he do. I was like, man. That's what's up. Kim Walker representing the Yankee game. That's what's up. Yes, sir. The Bronx in the house. Yeah, man. But I think it's good. I think he makes that team much better. If Mitchell Robinson come in, the start lineup this year, if he give us a double-double, which I think he will, if Mitch go anywhere 12 to 10, 10 to 12, that's going to be phenomenal. And I think he's going to pull that off. I think Mitch double-double easy this year with that lineup that they got now. You know what I mean? I think CT, he definitely get a double-double, no question.
He's walking double-double, walking double-double. And I think that the thing is, it could pay advantage for the Knicks to lock him long-term as well. It's not always about Mitch fleecing the Knicks. Mm-hmm. The Knicks could get a market deal below, like 4 years, 48. That's 12 per. If he shows out to be defensive player of the year potential in the second year, that deal is a steal all of a sudden. So, and it's not too much money for the Knicks. It's tradable. If he just plays like his normal game, that deal is subpar. Tradable. And I think you just got to give him something. Just do the right thing. Give him. It doesn't need to be any max deal. Nothing crazy. Just right. The guy's been playing off crumbs. You know what I mean? Like he wants to pay, his mortgage, pay his family, all of that. He's got unlimited potential. Do what you need to do. Check his foot out. Look at his medicals, all of that. Thing is, how long do they have to make that deal? Like, can they look at him in training camp and preseason game and then still have enough time? I think it's before the season starts. They can.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's before the season. And that's what's interesting to me. Yeah, you're right, Will. They could put a player option in there as well. Absolutely. And that helps that helps him and the Knicks, because if he balls out, he could pick up the option, or if he want to say, I'm going to hit the market. And so, either way it goes is not a bad problem for either one of them. And so I think it's before the 20th. I think it's before the start of the season. They can have the time to extend him. And I don't think that, I think maybe us on the outside might like, why didn't they extend him yet? Maybe they just is like they really need to reevaluate certain things. And I understand it's a business, and it is a business. You know what I mean? And they do got to reevaluate certain things. They got to see this and that, and listen to the doctors, listen to the trainers, and listen to the people who's around him as he getting better and all that. And I'm quite sure they're doing all their due diligence. That's what running a business is about. Doing your due diligence. Make sure your business is running accurately. You got to, cross your T's and dot all your I's and make sure that you're covering all your bases. And I think they're doing that. I think that's why I don't think it's like a rush thing, because if the Knicks wasn't going to send Mitchell Robinson, they could have willed to deal with Mitchell Robinson already, to me. When they say, they could say, well, you know what, man, we ain't going to send you. We're going to let you play out. They can let him play out the season. That's fine. Then, and then they say at the trading deadline, we got a deal on the table that might benefit us, and so it could go a lot of ways. I don't think if they don't sign Mitch by the season, then we gotta truly say, well, maybe this might be his last year, or they might say, you know what, let him go to free agency and see what other teams do. You know what I mean? And then we feel like we got a better deal, we'll bring him back. And you never know, but I'm hoping they lock him in. I don't want Mitch going into the season not getting that extension. The man been playing on $1.8 million and all that shit for 3 or 4 years, man. I know Mitchell Robinson like, listen, time I pay taxes, time I do this, that $1.8 million about going, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you gotta make sure Mitch said, I need my money, man. I'm like, I'm serious, man. That money don't last.
With some of his lifestyles, like if you see his video, he's always got, in the car, he loves cars, Mitch,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He wants to get himself a whole heap of cars, vintage, soup cars, all of that. So, the guys want to get some bread. Yeah, we know living in New York City ain't cheap as it is. Where is he living? In a small apartment or in Manhattan?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Nick P, I agree with you 100%. That's what I'm on. They should re-sign Mitch and Noel at the deadline if need be. That's what I'm on. I'm on like that's just Noel, just a movable contract to me, man. I think and I'm not taking nothing away from Noel as a ball player, but I think you ask me, age-wise, athleticism-wise, what he could do with a basketball, I prefer Mitch. I love Noel. I wish he'd stay on the Knicks and be a backup for the next couple of years. I'll let you move him because we about to get somebody that could really change the game for us. If not, then like I said, it's only a 2-year deal. This year and the next year, keep him. What's the big deal? He's our backup center. You know what I mean? And but what to me was interesting is it's going to be the Jericho Sims thing, like you said, CT. It's Jericho Sims' maturation, how fast he developed could change a whole lot of things in New York at that spot.
Mm. Best believe that, they got him on another bargain deal, 2-way. I think a 2-way for 2 years. If he starts balling out in the G League, looks like he's legit. They'll bring him up on some nights.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Noel got a rolled ankle, Noel can't suit up. Jericho Sims can be Mitch's backup.
Mm-hmm.
2 high flyers. Gotham Lob,
Mm-hmm.
Obi Toppin as well. Can you imagine Obi Toppin and Jericho Sims playing next to each other off the bench?
I think that in some league I was impressed. So we know, man. That's what I think the future is, though. And don't get me wrong, I could be wrong, but just my gut feeling, I think Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims is the future at the 5 in New York. I like be civilized there. Don't get me wrong. We can get Cat. I love Cat. A lot of people ain't knowing about him, but I love his game. 7 foot who get 20-something, 11 on any given night. Can't be mad at that neither. He can stretch the floor. I like it because I think him and Julius Randle piggyback well off each other because they both can stretch the floor. They don't clog up the lane for each other. Literally, when Cat outside, Julius Randle can go post, or when Julius Randle outside, Cat can post. So it's a good thing to have. That's why I understand where B Civilized coming from with that. And though I see a lot of people always kind of hating on Cat, but Cat can score with the best of them dudes. He put up the numbers for a reason. And I think under Tibbs, he played under Tibbs. He probably more mature now, or he a little older now. And probably when Tibbs first got him, a young man coming out of Kentucky, and it's a different thing. So
just on Pat, wait till if the Knicks have another great season, we show out, second round playoff or something like that. Look for the next name to want to declare, New York as their place. We're one more year away from building up, our really building up our name, reputation for the next guy to want to come. I think it could be Donovan Mitchell if Utah flame out. We know he doesn't get along with Rudy Gobert. Either Dame or maybe Cat or Levine. One of these guys can complete our starting five with. It could be that small forward spot, and then you push Fournier back to the bench.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. I definitely see that, man. And that's why I always had kept the Cat in my mind. I understand what Nick P saying from the defense standpoint, and I get you on Nick P, and I agree with you 100% his defense. But you know what? Sometimes you also got to look when you got to look at players like Cat and them real quick. I mean, look where he's been. You know what I mean? He's been in Minnesota. That organization, when Tibbs had it, he tried to turn it around. But Glenn telling them, think about the coaches he had just recently, the players that he had, and moving this player, moving that player. D'Angelo Russell coming. D'Angelo Russell don't play for a year. It's a lot of wheeling and dealing with that. You know what I mean? And sometimes the organization plays a part in how these guys perform. You know what I mean? And we know. Look at our organization prior to Scott Perry coming here. He had to come down and tear it down and build it back up because we was bringing talent right here, but the organization wasn't really functioning like we wanted it to be. You know what I mean? And I think that plays a part. But Cat, no problem. Me, I just think anybody could do what he do at the center spot. I just think it's not a bad problem. But I'm a Mitchell Robinson guy, so you know what I mean. But man, if Noel, you took like somebody said Noel, Knox, and some pick, you're gonna have to match that salary. And he only got see, here's the thing, guys. He only got a couple of years left on his deal. You know what I mean? He signed that deal like almost 3 years ago. So that's not a bad deal. You got to look at players like that he coming in here with only 2 years left on his deal. Let me ask you a question. See, I know we might get on Cat. Look at Andre Drummond. That's a prime example. I mean, look at Andre Drummond numbers, what he been doing. Now look at him opposed to Cat. I'll take Cat over Andre Drummond any day. That's for sure. So yeah. Man, listen, I ain't even front about that. I definitely have to do that. Cat would be probably one of the best centers in the East. I agree with you. Will Slugger, I believe Cat in the East will take and beat out of the best center in the East spot, especially with Tibbs on the helm. That's interesting. To be civilized, man. I think. And like I said, like I said, the Kentucky connection, you just never know. It's not a bad problem to have, though. I mean, so we got to see how things pan out, man, because we put ourselves in so good of a situation, CT, that we got will and deal maneuverability now. We can will and deal like crazy now because of the contract that we give out, the way we gave them out. So I think we could really change it around. And so they extend Mitch. That's fine. There's always signing trades. You know what I mean? There's always all type of things that can go down. You know what I mean? So who knows? But hopefully we give Mitch his money. He'd be a part of this here and he move forward. And then we look and see how him and Noel pair together. And then you know what? If the bright name come up, listen. Like I said, Alex Burks $10 million, his $10 million. That's $20 million. You throw in not $5 million. That's $25 million. See, now you in that range to get somebody like a Cat because you can match salaries now. You know what I mean? And then I just think that Jericho Sims could be the key to all that for me going forward. Yo, salute to the chat. Be civilized. Will, everybody, man. With a few that say, hey, we appreciate y'all, man, coming in. Nick P, my brother, salute. Canal, everybody, man. So I think we're in a good situation. We're in a good situation to have with the Knicks. No matter which way we go, we're going to be able to do some wheeling and dealing for sure. Yeah, man. I think the Kemba deal is just something that's going to set us up, for the future because you're talking about a bona fide starting point guard for $8 million for 2 years. That allows us to focus on, solidifying every other piece, get that star small forward
get that lock up that starting center, because ain't no one really in the league got a quality point guard for like $8 million of the level Kemba Walker is.
Absolutely.
That's an absolute steal. I think the Knicks could have found their point guard platoon options for the next 4 years with Rose and Kemba together. That could have been our long-term solution, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That was so interesting, like you said that, man, to get Kemba Walker for $8-9 million, whatever. And man, I mean, at the caliber player that he is, like I said, he was on a max deal. You know what I mean? Salute my brother. Appreciate you coming in. Ben Dover in the building, my man Ben. Yeah, to get that deal that they gave Kemba Walker you got to give Scott Perry and Leon Rose and cats. Those are wheel and deal of jokers, man. I mean, and Brock, all the guys, man, they know how to wheel and deal. The stuff they've been pulling off to me, that takes real savviness. You got to be savvy to do that. And to get Kemba Walker, and people forget he averaged 19 points a game last year. TT, 19 a game, bro. Come on, man. Last year, man, and he played 43 games. He was averaging 19 with Jaylen Brown and Tatum and them. Yeah, he was putting up 19. So man, if he comes to the Garden and give us anything around that, and he probably didn't have to go to the playoffs. He probably working on his knees, getting himself in shape. And with him and Derrick Rose, if he's giving you 17, 18, Derrick Rose giving you 14, man, come on now. That's pretty crazy right there. You know what I mean? So I think out of the point guard position, the Knicks got over 30-some points a game on a regular between 2 point guards. That's phenomenal. You know what I mean? And then you look at a lot of other point guards. You might got a point guard in the league who's giving you 20 a game, but his backup might be only giving you 6. You know what I mean? Or, you might got a guy like Kyrie Irving. He giving you 23, 24, but what is backup giving you? 5, 6, 7? But then you got 2 cats averaging over 30-something. One giving you 17, 18, one giving you 14, 15, whatever. That's why I said that in the last show we had, man, that backcourt duel we got, that point guard duel, that's the business right there. Because they both experienced, they both could play ball, and they both probably wind up being, at least on a Hall of Fame ballot. Maybe not the first year, second year, they will get in. Because they will get in. You know what I mean? So I do think that's crazy. I know it's early, but Derrick Rose, despite his injury-riddled career, his numbers has always been decent. You know what I mean? It's always been decent for real.
I think Kemba got a lot of juice left still. We're talking about 31 years old. Like that's 2 years younger than Steph Curry is right now. So yeah, hopefully all is well with those knees. Just manage them for the rest of his career. Kemba don't really need to play any more than 30 a night. You got Derrick Rose that can play 18. So keep Kemba fresh. This could be a 3-4 year long-term solution with Kemba.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we got him for nothing. Normally we need to trade, or we need to give up assets. No, OKC is paying Kemba right now for 2 years. They're paying him. The money's not coming from us. So, that kind of deal was just like, it's like, the heavens from above.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you gotta take a deal like that. No way. And coming back to his this cat coming back to his hometown, and he's not coming back to his hometown like he been in the league 16 years. The cat been in the league 10 years, bro. You know what I mean? He's still in his prime almost. I'm like, man, he coming back in his prime. He, and the half Kemba ball out the next 2 years. You know what? Then you doing like you did Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? If Kemba ball out the next 2 years, you give him a 14 3-year deal with a team option. You just take care of him. He here. He here. So I just think that it's going to be a problem in New York. A lot of teams sleeping on New York Knicks, man. It's going to be a problem with them boys they got down there. I just think that it's going to be hard for teams to compete against the Knicks when Kemba Walker goes to the bench and then you bring in Derrick Rose. That's you talk about veteran, savvy, skills. Everything, all that and above is in that point guard package with them guys. You know what I mean? It's nothing they can't do with a basketball. You know what I mean? So I just think it's going to be pretty awesome. I think that, and now with RJ Barrett taking that 3rd year leap, Fournier, I just think it's gonna be nice. I'm excited. We got a month of training camp, man. I can't wait for enough, man. Well, I'm gonna salute to everybody, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. CT is gonna be good. And like back to that situation with Noel and them. That's why I said his contract is movable. It's just a movable. Him and Alex Burks' contract is movable. Like I said, not that we want to move anybody, but you like his 10, Alex Burks 10. You got Knox is what 5'6". That's $26 million. You have so you really got quite a few contracts that you can maneuver in and out of there if you don't want to keep them. You know what I mean? And I think with the other contract, they so low, like Obi Toppin and Quickly and all them contracts is nothing. You know what I mean? So they got a good competitive team, and they got a real good flexibility with the contract that they did. So I think they kept the infrastructure together in New York, and they're happy about that. And I've been saying that before the free agency. I don't care what the Knicks do, just keep the infrastructure there. Don't and they got Julius Randle locked up for 4 years. We good with that. We know, even if you move whoever you bring in for another 2 years, when they time is up, RJ Barrett, he get his money. You know what I mean? So I just think the way they will the deal did was real nice. And probably you can go over the cap. You have to sign RJ Barrett eventually, but I think it worked out well. And so I'm looking forward to all this happening. I'm looking forward to Mitch getting back in the fold. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think the Knicks will really make a lot of noise this year once they get into the season, especially if Mitch come back ready. But we'll keep our eye on Be Civilized and we'll keep an eye on that cat thing, man, because you just never know. Like I said, you just never know. You know what I mean? And I think the connections that they got and the talent, that's out there with Cat can make a big difference on the Knicks. A big difference. Because now you got a center who can. Everybody always talking about stretch fives and everything. Okay, there you go. Stretch
with
5.
Julius, stretch 4.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy.
And listen, he getting you 11 rebounds. He getting you double-digit rebounds. So you got your power forward and your center both double machines in the 20-point scoring. Come on, man. And I think team defense is what they play in New York anyway. So you might get. And I think he probably get better. He probably better under Tibbs from a defense standpoint. He might not be great, but he'd be better. You know what I mean? I just think that's a good problem to have. Because you never know. They might say, listen, we move Noel and Mitch for him, and we have him and Jericho Sims and Todd. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. They might say, listen, we give you Noel and Mitch. You know what I mean? And some picks or whatever, and however they would have to package a deal, and you take Cat and make Jericho Sims and Todd Gibson your centers. You just never know. I think that what I'm trying to say is not that that's going to happen. I think that's a good problem to have. It's just a good problem to have. You can go so many dynamics, so many directions to what the Knicks can do with that 5 spot or any other spot from what they put themselves in situation they put themselves in.
The thing is, they make deals in silence. We don't see nothing coming. All of a sudden it's like bam. Like the Kemba deal. No one even mentioned Kemba Walker's name as a possibility for the Knicks. Now here he is,
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow we could wake up. It's like Karl Anthony Towns, blockbuster trade.
Right.
I mean, it's like Leon and Wes are like, know what's up. It's working the phones. It's doing their due diligence. They probably already know what's the next few target or what their desirable, championship team looks like, what they're going to go for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I would love me some Karl Towns at the 5, and you get Kawhi at the 3 or something. Right. Then you got Kemba, RJ, Kawhi, Randall, and Kat. That's like
that's crazy. That's crazy.
A championship team.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Because like I said, you got your front court to be probably one of the top with Kat, Randall, and Kawhi. That top, that's pretty much one of the best top 3s in the Eastern Conference for sure. Kawhi championship pedigree, Randall on that on he moving to another level. Kat can do what he do. That's a hard team to beat. You know what I mean? It's a hard team to beat. And then you got RJ. Oh my God, bro, Kemba. Still got Derrick Rose back there with Quickly and Obi and man, the young.
watch all these veterans come. Yeah, you want to be that first team to bring New York their championship in 50 years. Like, look what's going on in Brooklyn. You know, they got all these vet mercenaries. You know, Millsap, Lamarcus coming out of retirement, Blake Griffin. You know, imagine if the New York Knicks are in a contention window, man. We'll see cats taking buyouts just to come here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I mean? What's interesting is what's going to happen in Philly with Ben Simmons and also Dame Lillard. You know, they're two guys that I don't think will be on their teams much longer.
Yeah. That's why I think it's interesting dynamic. You're right, Will, man. We can definitely, no doubt about it. That's what's so interesting about the way the Knicks did. That's why I think everybody probably don't realize. Not everybody don't realize, you know, that the reason why they signed these guys the way they did, because they could move. Last year we couldn't move them. We could we would have had to get a superstar last year. We would have had to pretty much to give away our whole team because everybody was only making $5 million. You know what I mean? Everybody was making like $5 million. And you would have had to give away the whole team to get a superstar last year. Now you don't have to do that. And the players that you can move, teams would want them because they could play. Alex Burks can play basketball. You know what I mean? And Nerlens Noel can play basketball. So you can they movable pieces. You know what I mean? And Knox is aspiring. You know what I mean? So I just think they're in a good place, man. I know we'll see, man. We're gonna see what the Knicks gonna do. Because remember, they said they probably don't want to spend the money on free. They're gonna get a disgruntled star. I mean, they're gonna go that route. And so right now, you look at the guys like the reason why we threw Cat out there. Well, the reason why I like the Cat deal, 2 years left on that deal. 2 years left. You know what I mean? You look at a lot of guys. Miles Turner, he got a couple of years left. I'm just throwing names out there. Bradley Beal only got a couple of years left. A lot of these guys, they on the back end of their contracts. So you know, so what you do is you said we're going to try to get this thing popping for the next 2 years, and if it don't work out, that money come off the books. We got our money back. We still got all that young talent down the pipeline. We still got the Grimes and all these guys. They'll be ready. They'll be ready to take that next step. But we go back into that a mini rebuild phase, you know, and still got the infrastructure there and the money. So, but I think they're going for that. I think they're gonna make it happen, though.
Hey, Divine, I'm just gonna be in the green room. I'll just make a call. I'll be back.
Okay,
yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. CT, he'll be right back, man. He's handling his business. But yeah, you're right. He is the last one. It was be similar. It was Neil Aquino. I think he's the longest tenured Knick there now. Him and Mitchell Robinson, I guess. But it's an interesting dynamic to have for the Knicks, man. So we really can go a lot of ways with this thing. You know, like pretty much the topic of the program, with the battle at the center spot, and it was Noel and obviously Mitchell Robinson. And I do think that that's a good dynamic to have. I do think Mitch does get that starting job. You know, if coming into training camp, I think Mitchell Robinson wins that. I just think that cat is that gifted. I think we might not see things that he didn't get to display in his earlier years. And man, the kid's a young kid. You know what I mean? Coming into his fourth year, you know, and young, coming out of high school, real young. You know what I mean? So, you know, and I think now the time for him to show him proof where he can get that money. You know what I mean? He want to get that bag too. And I think if he can go ahead and produce and show and prove, and I think he gets that. You know what I mean? I think he gets that. You know what I mean? And he get that money now. Knicks knowing that they got Mitchell locked up, knowing that they got Randall locked up. Obviously, we got RJ for this year, next year locked up. We got Fournier locked up. The good thing about it, they got the team locked up for the next couple of years, so they know that what they could do, what they have. Then if any will and deal take place, and so be it. If a trade come out of the pipeline, then so be it. But right now, I think you still Mitch. He coming to the season playing. Knicks is a way better team than last year. Way better. Like I said, guys, we were 41-31, and Mitch played 31 games. Mitch would have played 40, man, come on now. 41-31, and Mitch played 31 games. So out of 40 games, if Mitch was healthy, you got to put in 5 or 6 more wins. You know what I mean? You got to put in 5 or 6 more wins if Mitch Robinson was healthy last year. And he would have played the 72 games last year or close to that. That's easy. That's a no-brainer. Will said Knox and Noah off the books. That's right. You right, exactly. I was going to point that out. Good call, Will. Absolutely, you got Joe Key and Noah money coming off the books. And if you don't understand Knox, that's $11 million right there. So now you got Noel, Burks, $20 million. With that $11 million, that's $31 million right there. And you wouldn't even dip into, you know what I mean? You didn't really dip into anything. So I just think that bodes well for the Knicks to be able to do that, man. They got a lot of flexibility in maneuvering, and we'll see how it pans out with them. They got a lot of ways to go, Will. Be civilized, you guys. They could make some real power moves, and I think they will. I think they're going to roll with what they got this year. When the trading deadline come, you know, all the noise, all the chatter start popping off. You know, who's going to stay, who's going to go. So it's going to be interesting to see what the first half of the season bring, where we stand, what we look like. And if they said we got a chance to do this and we might go to another level, they might make a wheeling deal. They might move somebody. You know what I mean? They say, okay, you know what? We need this dude to get us to this level. And then they might start wheeling and dealing. You know what I mean? And that's for sure. But yeah, man, salute to everybody out there, man, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Knicks Real Talk, the night show, man. I'm in here with CT, the streets are buzzing. I got the chat in the building, man. We just talking Knicks on a Friday night. You know, we doing our thing, man, just having a good time with it. Hope everybody's safe. Like I said, man, I know y'all had Hurricane Ida come through there early in the week and did water damage all over the place. So I hope everybody trying to recover with that, man. And KJ, man, you too, man. We know you went through it too, man. So hope you're doing well, KJ. You already know what it is. But yeah, man. So with that Noel situation and Mitchell Robinson, I look forward. I look forward to that battle in training camp. It's going to be fun. That's the only position I think right now that's not a lock. That people think it's not a lock. You know, that's why that was out there today. That Noel got a chance to compete for that starting job. I think that on Bleacher Report today. So yeah, that's about one of the positions that's really totally not set in stone. So you know they're gonna be going at it in training camp. You know what I mean? That's gonna be so crazy. I wish I had tickets to that. Just the training camp in general, all of the competitive, all of the battling, all of the spot competing, man. You know, you look at the guard situation. We know Derrick Rose and Kemba pretty much they locked in there. You know, Alex Burks is locked in there. Quickly going to be there. But then you look at these young guys, man. These young thoroughbreds we got there, man. They could change the direction of the franchise. And like I said, Jericho Sims could change the direction of all that whole center situation. You know, I think if he pans out, Noel or anybody can be moved. Not that he'll start, but he's a center that can make the team, and he might roll into that backup position with Obi Toppin. You might have Mitchell Robinson, Sims and Gibson, or Gibson and Sims. So you never know what could happen to Noel's contract. Or you could say they got Nerlens Noel, Sims and Gibson. But I think Sims could play a major part of how the Knicks going to look at that center position over the next so many years. And that could be the reason why they did what they did when they drafted that young man. They probably had an eye on him. You know, Walt Perry and them guys, the Scott Perry and them probably looking at Jericho Sims like, you know what? 2 years from now, I think he could be another Mitchell Robinson. And so, you know, and he on a rookie deal. I mean, he on a two-way deal, excuse me. And then they give him a little deal. So, you know, I think we're in a good position at the center spot in New York, no matter which way it go. We got options there. But I'm looking forward to that Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel battle. I think that Mitch is a bounce back year. I think, you know, the possible defense player of the year. You know, defense, all NBA defense team. I'm going to say defense team. He could be there. Come back. You never know. I think it all depends how motivated he is. And from what it seems to me on all of the clips and Twitter and all that stuff, the brother look like he's motivated. I mean, he's really like he's motivated. So I think he'd hopefully with the people around him, you know, he got in place, taking care of him the right way this time. The agent that he has now, they got his best interest at heart. And I think that bodes well. Yeah, I agree with you, Will, because Sims is going to be a problem for sure. I hope he there for a minute. Him and Mitchell Robinson and Obi Toppin, man, that's some athleticism for you right there, brother. I mean, you know that's what jumping out the gym type through. You put Mitchell Robinson, Sims, and Obi Toppin in there, man. That just to have some fun with some athleticism and practice. I can imagine how them cats would be in practice. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be fun to see. Too many centers means not a good one. I guess. I mean, you know, like I said, that's why we talked about earlier, Jan. It's I don't know. Like for me, I don't think having too many centers is the issue, because I think Todd Gibson is truly, to me, a power forward. I think he came in and played that position because he had to, but in today's NBA, it might be different with the stretch guys and all that. But I think Todd is there just to be a teacher. You know what I mean? And if they need to fill in somebody's role or somebody go down, he's a good problem to have. He's a good backup center. And Sims is on a 2-way contract. You know, he's not even guaranteed to be in the NBA right now. He's playing half of the season up and half of the season down. So it's not like, you know, that he's going to be in the start. He's going to be on a rotation. He's going to be situational, basically, at least this year, unless he's going in and tear it up. So I don't know if we got a lot of centers. I think we got enough. We have 2 centers. I agree with you. Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel. Them the 2 centers to me, because like I said, Todd Gibson is really not a center. And Jericho Sims is not going to be playing. He's not going to be in that 10-man rotation, I don't think. You know what I mean? So I really don't think they're going to count him. And I think if that was the case, they would have gave him more than a 2-way contract. You know, they would just give that boy what they need to give him. But I think he will be a Knick long term. I think the Knicks sign him in the long term. I think his maturation is going to be phenomenal. For what I've seen in the summer league, and granted it's just against summer league guys, but I'm just looking at what he could do. And once it translates to the NBA over the years, he's going to be nice. He's going to be nice. He got an NBA body, got a good skill set. He know how to move his feet down on the low post. He know how to pivot real well. I was looking at him in summer league. I'm like, man, this cat know how to pivot with that ball. Then he just take that strong body and go up. And then once he in the air, you know, that's a wrap too. So I think that's not a bad problem to have for the Knicks in that situation. Jan, I do agree with you. It may seem like we got a lot of centers, but if you really look at it the totality, Jan, I think we really got Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel. You know, to be honest. Yeah, I second that too, D-Civilized. I think Sims is situational as of right now due to any drastic injuries. Yep, absolutely. That's why they give him that 2-way deal. You know what I mean? Just like Theo Pinson got a 2-way deal. All these guys, Lionel Trailer had a 2-way deal. They could convert it. Don't get me wrong, they converted to a regular deal, but as of right now, the Knicks only got 2 centers. You know what I mean? Todd is there. To me, he's really like Coach Woody now. You know what I mean? But he's like a player's coach. You know what I mean? And that's a good product. That's not a bad thing to have. To have people like Todd Gibson who can, when you need him to fill a void, coming in and put in some work. They got Todd for the playoffs. Playoff Todd. That's what they got him for. So when it's time to go in there and battle in the playoffs, when you need that experience, you know, he could take us there. You know what I mean? So that's not a bad problem I have whatsoever. But yeah, man, I mean, it's not a bad problem with the Knicks situation. But I do think that that center spot, you know, I think it's gonna be a good competitive battle in training camp. I mean, that gym gonna be ridiculous, man. And I think that's where a lot of cats get to make their name. You want to crack this rotation. Let me see what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? Let me see what you're gonna do in training camp and compete to what level you're gonna be competing at, and we'll see. So I think the Knicks gonna be pretty well off next year, man. Like I said, guys, let's not fool ourselves. 41-31 with Nerlens Noel and Todd Gibson. The past season, Nerlens Noel and Todd Gibson, because Mitchell did it. 41 wins. Yeah. Now you bring back the man, Mr. Robinson, in his neighborhood up in there. So you just never know. So now with him, you added him to the mix. I think the Knicks will be just even not much better than last year. Adding Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier to that starting lineup, and Mitchell Robinson coming back. That team should be good. That team should be good. I just think that's a big difference than Kemba Walker. No pun intended to Alpha Payton, but Alpha Payton is not Kemba Walker. No pun intended to salute Frank Matos, my brother. Salute to you, and no pun intended to Reggie Bullock, but Reggie Bullock is not Evan Fournier. I mean, not from that level, not on the offense level. So to be honest with you, who you going to guard on the Knicks next year? You can't double team nobody. I dare you to leave Randall shooting 40% from 3 open. RJ 40% from 3 last year open. Evan Fournier shoots that around itself. So who you gonna leave open? You know what I mean? And now you got all the guys on that perimeter who can open that floor up, man. And now you got Mitch down there by himself. One of them cats, like CT said earlier, you miss a shot. Mitch Robinson cleaning that up. You know what I mean? He cleaning that up all day. You know, and it's not too many centers could do what he could do athletic wise. So them putbacks and all that. You know, like I told you, I know everybody said, man, we want to see a Spanish game. I wouldn't care if Mitchell Robinson give me 10 dunks a game. That's 20 points. I know everybody wanted to shoot threes and all that. Clint Capella don't shoot no threes. Rudy Gobert don't shoot no threes. Just be good at what you do. if Mitchell Robinson give you 20 points a game and he dunked the ball 10 times, dude, that's 20 points and a high field goal percentage. So what difference does it make? You know, I know we want everybody to be these stretch shooters. Giannis Antetokounmpo can't even shoot a 3-point ball that good. So I think we get too caught up in that wanting to stretch the floor guys and all that. Man, listen, you play good at what you at. If you are good, whatever you're good at, just be good at that. And you can improve your game and expand it as the time go on. But I don't think that Mitchell Robinson need to be one of their pop no threes and all that. Yeah, we want him to add to his arsenal, you know, like he said, he been working on his post moves and all that. You want him to get better and be more naturally gifted offensively. But right now, I just want Mitch to be Mitch. You know, do what you do, and like they need Mitch a rebound and block shot. I agree with you, Frank Matos. We don't need him doing all that other stuff. It'll come in time. It'll come in time. You know, like we remember, Mitch is only in his third, going to his fourth year. He's a young kid. You know what I mean? So he still got time to expand his game. But right now, Mitch coming here this year, swap blocking shots, putbacks, offense rebounds, rim running. I'm good with that. Like just do what Clint Capella do for now. We be good. You know, and then once you develop your game, you take it to another level. You know, but right now, I just want Mitch to do what he did when he came into the league. Block them shots, get them offense rebounds, let Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose, or whoever, or Fournier, somebody getting in, R.J. Barrett. They go to the double team cats coming through that lane. You know where to throw that ball to. Go throw it to the gazillion. You know what I mean? That's all. So I think if we can get that from Mitch, I'm good. Mitch goal should be 4 blocks of 12. I agree with you, Frank Matos. He should be 12, 12, 12, 10, 12, 10, and 3, 12, 10, and 4. Man, he get that, we good. You know, we get that, we good. So I really do think that if Mitch can come bounce back and give us that, Frank, I think we man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You know, I really believe that. And I think Mitchell Robinson got the capabilities to put them numbers up if he's healthy. And I think Mitch definitely could do that. And CT, my man Frank Matos, like Mitch goal should be 4 blocks of 12 points, 12 rebounds average. If Mitch give us 12 or 4, it's over. I will tell you, salute D. Ross, salute my brother.
Salute,
yeah, it's
salute
over.
Frank D. Ross. It's a wrap. If because you can't focus on all the guys. You know, if Mitch is there, he's going to clean up. He could be the biggest beneficiary of our Kemba and Fournier.
Absolutely.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was saying that earlier, man. The way they could stretch that floor, be civilized. Man, I don't know about y'all, but I can't wait to play and see the Hawks again because for the record, I still have a bad taste in my mouth. You ain't kidding, bro. Yo,
hey.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I want Mitch to be there. Now, that's it. Trae Young was pulling off. Mitch know how to defend stuff like that. You know, he know how to get back fast enough to make sure he don't throw that lob threat. So, and when Trae Young try to throw a lob threat over Mitch is an athlete. He's 9 out of 10. He gonna either alter that thing or whatever. So I think it's gonna be gonna be interesting, man. Good one, be simple. I can't wait to play the Hawks neither because that left a bad taste in my mouth too.
What matchups are y'all most looking forward to? Because that's one of mine. You know, getting that playoff, and also I wouldn't mind taking on Brooklyn.
Yes.
You know, I think that home opener could have been Brooklyn. That would have been popping. Mm-hmm. You know, I like the Boston matchup, but if they gave us Brooklyn opening night at MSG, that'd be popping as well. Take it to them and their mercenaries. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Millsap, LaMarcus retires and comes back. The Lakers, that's another good matchup. I think, they got DeAndre now. You know, he was talking all that smack with Brooklyn, you know, signing that 4-year, $40 million. I knew that was a bad deal when they first signed it.
Yeah. You know what? I definitely want to see them against Brooklyn. I want to see the Knicks against Milwaukee. I want the Knicks to go up against the creme de la creme early, so I can see where they at. You know what I mean? I want to see where the Knicks are at as a team. So Miami, obviously. I definitely want Atlanta. I mean, not Atlanta. Of course, Atlanta. We already got that. Indiana's gonna be interesting because that team coming back with the players they have, they're gonna be a pretty good team. I do want to see the Knicks against the Hawks, Brooklyn. You know, I know we're going to see them eventually, but just to answer your question, Milwaukee for me. Hope Boston don't beat the Knicks overnight. I don't think so. I think Knicks give it to them at the Garden. I think Knicks gonna give it to them at the Garden. I think they beat them for sure. I think Knicks gonna protect home court pretty well this year.
Kemba, Fournier against their old team. They'll want to stick it to them, you know. Yeah. They know, you know, good. Plus, Boston haven't really upgraded much, you know. For Schroeder, Al Horford, he's old.
Yeah, Josh Richardson.
Josh Richardson. Yeah, that's not enough to me. I think Boston's going to finish around the same 7, 6, 8. Yeah, they're not much different to Washington. I think Washington could be a surprise. They got Dinwiddie, KCP, Kuzma, Beal, a lot of depth.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I'm on with Washington. I want to see how they defense get down. You know, because see a lot like even look at Chicago. Chicago picked up. You know, they picked up a good player. Now they got DeRozan, Levine. They got Vucevic, and and they got who else? They picked somebody else. Lonzo. But now where does their defense come into play? I mean, because Mel Bessa, salute Mel Bessa 9. We'll see you, my brother. Thank you for chiming in, man. Salute to Mel Bessa. He in the building. Lakers will really be good this year with Westbrook, Melo, and the rest. They just have to stay healthy because of injuries. I agree with you, Mel Bassa. I think they're going to be good, man. Don't sleep on the Lakers. I'm telling you, AD, LeBron, and Westbrook. Oh my God, bro! And you got Melo coming off the bench. I mean, man, listen. You got Trevor Reeves.
Kendrick Nunn's their backup.
Right. They got Tucker. They signed Tucker. You got Malik Monk back there. I mean, man, and they still ain't finished. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I see you, Mel Bass. They're gonna be a problem for sure, man. I think they're gonna be a good team. The Wizards, though. Wizards gonna be good. I'm just curious about they defense. Them and Chicago's defense is gonna what's gonna separate. So I think what separate a lot of teams in the NBA right now is defense. And I think Milwaukee Bucks proved that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that's why they have Brooklyn penciled all the way in at the time. But I was like, they got a lot of offensive players, but defense win it, man. You know what I mean? You got to be able to stop jokers. You know what I mean? And I think that if you got a good defense, you got a chance to be in any game. And I think the Knicks proved that last year. I mean, we went on a 9-game winning streak, dog. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? And that was with Julius Randle being our alpha. RJ up and down season, you know what I mean? And D Rose came in and kind of, so to me, having a team like we had last year where Julius Randle was the most consistent player, RJ took steps, but he wasn't consistent all the time. And look at the point guard we had, and look at the back, and quickly with his rookie year. Obi didn't really have a good year last year to the end, going to the playoffs. Now you come in this year with a whole better team. And the possible Mitchell Robinson coming back. I cannot. They ain't no excuse for the Knicks this year.
They're sleeping on us.
They're sleeping on us, man. They are.
These overs unders. I don't know if you've seen 41, 40. I don't know, man. I don't see the Eastern Conference any team that you can definitely put ahead of us, except Milwaukee and Brooklyn. We finished above Atlanta and we got better. Atlanta didn't change. We added pieces. People still thinking Atlanta's better than us.
I disagree with that. Here's the thing. Even you look at Miami. Miami got a good starting 5. Their defense is nice, but there's no straight bucket getters. And like Jimmy Bucket is not. He's not a bucket getter. Them cats are not bucket getters down there. They all can play, but I don't think there's one in that starting lineup. Not Kyle Lowry, not Jimmy Butler, not Bam Adebayo. Not PJ Tucker. There's nobody on that team who you could say going to drop 40 on me. You know what I mean? Like this cat literally could drop 40 on me. I don't think that Miami got that type of team. No. And they starting unit, and I don't think their bench is better than the Knicks. I don't think their bench is better than the Knicks. I think the Knicks got one of the best benches in the league with the way they're constructed. Derrick Rose and Alex Burks are just bucket getters. I mean, Emmanuel quickly can shoot the ball. He can get bucket. I mean, this cat had some 31, 33-point games last year in his rookie year when he was hot. Obi coming around and Nerlens Noel, I think that is so solid. Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. They added Cooper and Jalen Johnson, but how much time they gonna get? You know what I mean? They're not gonna get a lot of time because now you got DeAndre Hunter coming back. It just I just think that them guys they rookies and everything. Don't get me wrong, they might try to get in there, but I don't think they're gonna get a lot of time. You know what I mean? Yeah, so real talk.
Yeah, the controversies here in the building.
Yeah. Julio, salute.
Want to hear what he thinks? Look, I think we're better than Atlanta because we didn't have D Rose the whole season. We had Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, and we finished above Atlanta. Now we got Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, bringing back Atlanta. They brought in a few good rookies, but healthy Mitch. I don't think Atlanta's better than us.
Yeah. I think Miami is they got a better starting five experience why the defense why, but like I said, look at their bench. Let's go to their bench real quick, then I'll answer Uncle Fulio's question. Oladipo is not even guaranteed he's gonna be there. You know what I mean? Who they got on their bench that's scheduled other than Tyler Hero? Look at Tyler. You got Tyler Hero, Oladipo. They team don't scare you on that bench like the Knicks bench do to me. Because I don't think nobody on Miami bench is better than Derrick Rose. None of them, Jan. This hear what I'm saying? There's not a player on Miami bench better than Derrick Rose. Period. None of them can touch Derrick Rose. And I think what Tyler Hero could do, Alex Burks could do that in his sleep. That's how good Alex Burks could shoot the ball. He could score. So Oladipo is not even a guarantee. You know what I mean? You had to bring up the rest of the roster, but they starting five with Kyle Lowry. Now I give you credit on their starting five. They got a good starting five. With Kyle Lowry, most like Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Robinson, right? And I think you're gonna have to probably pencil in PJ Tucker, maybe. Let's say that NBA five. That defense is phenomenal. That Miami defense is creme de la creme when it comes to that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they deeply had to play their hearts against the Knicks. Like I said, Mitchell Robinson gives Miami problems because Bam Adebayo is not even about 6'10". He's a good player, but Mitchell Robinson always give them cats problem in the front line. You know what I mean? Because that's not a real tall team. And I think Mitchell Robinson in that front line with the way them cats play, because remember, Kyle Lowry can shoot the three. Jimmy Butler's not an efficient three-point shooter. Duncan Robinson is. PJ Tucker get that corner three every now and then. So I don't know. I have to see. I can't wait till we play him. That's why I want to play him so bad. And answer Uncle Fulio's question, hey Josh, I think Brooklyn got a better bench than us when it comes to experience. Experience and the guy that's been in the league, and Millsap was a beast in his time. I mean, they got some young guys down there. They got a great bench too. But experience for sure to me, anyway. You know what I mean? I think they bench is better from an experience standpoint. And I don't know how much continuity they're gonna have right now, Josh, because they all just basically coming back together. So they got to form that continuity and everything. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, the Brooklyn bench is a lot of aged vets. They moved out. I think they got Joe Harris off the bench. That's a good piece off the bench, but who knows how healthy they'll be. All it takes is Obi Toppin to take a good jump quickly to continue on his trajectory, and our bench takes the next level. Derrick Rose, 6th man of the year. I think so. I think our bench is up there with at least better than any bench, or the same as any bench in the league. And in Miami, 1 to 10, we're better than them. I think rosters 1 to 10.
Yeah. To me, I understand what Jan. You can't compare the Knicks last year to this year. They beat us all. The Knicks team this year is not the Miami team will be playing this year. It's two different teams. So I don't think we should bring what they swept us last year, because that had nothing to do with this year. I think the Knicks team this year is way better than the Knicks team last year. And plus not having Mitchell Robinson, we didn't have a Fournier, we didn't have a Kemba Walker. I really don't want to bank off of last year. I just want to go off of what's coming up this season. You know what I mean? I think this season is a tale of two different teams now, because I think Miami, they got much better. I think that team, to me, Miami could be in the top 3. I believe the Miami Heat could be in the top 3. They got a good team down there, but I still think that bench is suspect to me, because you're not going to guarantee the Oladipo being healthy next year. And he's a same Coulter style, different players. Alfred Payton was the point guard. Kemba Walker is the point guard. Reggie Bullock was a small forward. Evan Fournier is the point. And here's the difference, Jan. Alfred Payton was giving you 10 points a game, inconsistent. Reggie Bullock was giving you 10-point a game, inconsistent. Kemba Walker is a 19-point game scorer consistently. Evan Fournier is a 17 to 18, 19-point score a game consistently. Not 2 points today, 8 points the next day, 13 another day. No, every night these cats dropping 17 to 18 and 19. That's different. I understand the coaching thing, but it's still different when you got better players. We got a better starting lineup. We got a healthier center. So I think if we just go off of this year, we had to wait till the ball get thrown in the air. And I think right now you could put Miami in front of the Knicks. I got no problem with that if that's what you feel. But still, when that ball go up, we'll see how it pop off. I just think I think we sleeping on it. A lot of people sleeping on the Knicks team, because let me ask everybody in the chat a question. Julius Randle 40 point from 3. Fournier 40 point from 3. RJ 39 from 3. Kemba above average from 3. Come on, man. And so to me, every one of them ball players could put the ball on the floor. Literally could put the ball on the floor and get to the bucket. All 4 of them could do that. Reggie Bullock could not do that, right? You know what I mean? He couldn't do that in Alfred Payton. When he did it to the best of his ability, but it wasn't always great, but he could do it. Knicks don't have that problem this year, guys. It's a different team, I think. And I think we got to look at the Knicks from a whole different angle. And like I said earlier, everybody talking about the NBA got better. We got better too. I'm optimistic always, Uncle Fulio, but I'm also dealing with facts here. You know what I mean? I'm speaking of facts here. Alfred Payton is not no Kemba Walker. You cannot sag off of Kemba Walker like you did Alfred Payton last year. They let Alfred Payton shoot a 3-point ball last year. We're gonna double team Julius Randle. We're gonna leave Alfred Payton by the 3-point line by himself. We don't even care. Don't try that this year. What happened?
I want to read out some of Miami's names off the bench, right? Guys, tell me what you think. Their benches are Dwayne Dedman, Haslam, Gabe Vincent, Markieff Morris, and Oladipo. That's nothing close to the Knicks bench. That's they lost to the guy's point. They lost Precious. They lost Dragic off the bench too. So they upgraded the starting 5, but that bench is nothing close to the Knicks bench. So you've got to take into account 10v10. Who knows how much Lowry's got in the tank? 36 years old. Is he going to hold up for 82 games? If not, who's backing him up? Who's the backup point guard for Miami?
Right.
I fear Atlanta much more than I fear Miami right now. Atlanta got a deep roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Like I said, I like what Miami did. I think they're going to be up there. I think Miami going to be in that top 3 or 4. I really do. I think they that good. But I think everybody, I know Knicks fans, sometimes we get caught up in them. I think our team is way better than people think they are. I mean, and to my point, Jan, I don't think the Knicks, obviously we know that Kemba Walker not going to score 19 because the shot's going to go down. You know what I mean? My thing is they're going to be consistent with it, though. You know what I mean? Kemba not going to score 19. Fournier probably don't even score 18. They might be in the 16, 17. But that whole team, the shot, they might not get the many shots that they got prior, but they still consistent with what they play. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to bank off of that. Kemba don't have to score 19. You know what I mean? Kemba can score 17, 15 for us. I care every game. You know what I mean? RJ can score 17 a game. Fournier can score 17 a game. Julius can score 23, 24. Mitchell Robinson give you 12. Come on, man. You know what I mean? That's I'm being just basically average. You know what I mean? And if Jaylen Brown, if Kemba Walker could put up 19 points with Boston last year with Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker was averaging 19 a game with them two. Why can't do it with the Knicks? I don't understand that. What I mean? If Jaylen Brown and Tatum were their main dudes. You know what I mean? And Kemba Walker still got 19 a game with them. So I think that we just got to kind of don't overlook it because they on the Knicks now. I think you're just gonna. I think the Knicks got a good team down there. I think they upgraded very well. And with the mergers, if Mitchell Robinson come back healthy, I just think they're gonna be a good team. I think they good just as good as anybody in the East for sure.
And don't forget, we still have D Rose for a full 82. So to Josh's point, it's not just dependent on Kemba. I know, he will have a big factor as to how far we can go. That's no doubt. But I think there was 30-something games we didn't have D Rose. So, you could add a few more win totals on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's I think that's my biggest point right there is like just like a lot of teams in the NBA was healthy injured last year, we were too. You know what I mean? And then I hear everybody saying, but the East got better. But we got better too. It ain't like the East got better, we didn't get better. The East got better, we got better. So if you really put that in a nutshell, everybody got better. It'd be different. The Knicks didn't make no move, and we had the same team last year. That I could see everybody saying that the Knicks got better just like everybody else did. You know what I mean? They did. So you got to compare, apples to apples. You know what I mean? We got better. Boston got better. A lot of teams got better, but we got better too. And we coming back with continuity, health. If I agree with Uncle Fulio with the Kemba Walker thing, but I'm not concerned about Kemba Walker's health because I think Kemba Walker gonna be able to give us 24 minutes. Him and Derrick Rose split that point guard situation. It ain't gonna be no wear and tear in them guys. I think we got enough talent to not wear them down. You know what I mean? I think we got enough talent not to wear them down. So I'm not concerned with the health situation at all. I think Kemba Walker, he played 43 games last year. He averaged 19. I'm good with that. If he averaged 15 this year, I'll take it on a regular basis. Did Elfrid Payton give you 15 every night last year? No, but Kemba Walker might can give you 15 every night because that's his average, his season average. So if he averaged 15 a game for the Knicks, then that's a whole different story to me. You know what I mean? So that's why
Josh wants Simmons. He wants us to swing that deal, get Ben Simmons here.
You know what?
It's going to cost too much,
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to wind up giving up. Wow, I mean, who wouldn't want Ben Simmons? I can't say I wouldn't take him because that man is a superstar. He a stud, bro. Ben Simmons is the real deal. I just don't know what they would give up for it. But Josh, you got any idea? You think what would you think a package for Ben Simmons would be? Throw it up in there.
He said he'd put RJ in the deal.
Nah, that's Nick's not doing that. Nick's ain't doing that
because you ain't getting Simmons if you ain't talking his name. I think. But the thing is, the leverage. The longer we wait, the less leverage Philly will have. Also with Rich Paul. Yeah, Rich Paul's his agent. I don't know if he's going to facilitate help. Considering unless we ship Nerlens Noel out and sweep that lawsuit under the rug,
what's interesting for me, CT, real quick. Look at Ben Simmons' numbers. If RJ improve on the defense end, I'm not trading RJ. I think RJ gonna have a better number than Ben Simmons throughout his career. He shoot the ball better than Ben Simmons. He knocked down threes better than Ben Simmons. This is RJ's third year, and he shot 40% from three. He averaged 17 already in the second year. Ben Simmons averaged 15. Granted, he could do so many things with a basketball, but I'm not trading RJ back for Ben Simmons. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. Ben Simmons nice, but I think RJ got a higher ceiling than him, though.
Yeah, I'll correct what I said. I think Josh, what he said was he would, for a trade for a star, he would contemplate putting RJ. He wouldn't be a killer of the deal. So, but I think at the end of the day, Simmons, we got to see how that plays out, because that shakes up the East, that shakes up the Atlantic Division. They're a poor fit, Simmons and Embiid. I think we can agree on that. I think if Simmons is better out west, he can get up and down. I can't see them trading him to an Eastern Conference rival anyway.
Yeah. I like Ben Simmons' game. I really think he's a special player, but I'm not trading him for RJ though. I think RJ's ceiling is going to be phenomenal. The kid, you know when you got something in a player. When I put in that clip with last week when his father said he's going to work hard, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. I just think that RJ going to his second year, his third year, time he get to the year that Ben Simmons is, RJ be a 20-something score game in the NBA, probably an 8-9 rebound dude or 7-8. I mean, the kid is young.
Yeah, so he's.
Hey, Uncle Fulio, I only reason I wouldn't do it, not because it's not so much that Ben Simmons is RJ Barrett is better than Ben Simmons 1-1 swap. I just think that for the Knicks franchise, RJ Barrett going to be that first rookie to get an extension with the Knicks, and his career is going on another level. I mean, this cat is a workaholic, dude. You know what I mean? What I mean by that, he's a gym rat. He looks to get better every man. Listen, like what Walt Clyde said, if Ben Simmons ain't got a jump shot by now, and you done been in the league this long, it's me. Not that he's better. If you put Ben Simmons on the Knicks and you take RJ Barrett off the Knicks, how does that make the Knicks better? Because now you doing on an offense standpoint, when you got Ben Simmons out on that perimeter, you got an Alpha Payton out there for shooting, literally, and that's the God's honest truth. When you got Ben Simmons on the perimeter, now I'm not talking about getting in the game because Ben Simmons is a monster when he can do that. But let's say if a defense got Ben Simmons out on the perimeter, you had the other team was at an advantage because Ben Simmons can't shoot the ball. So now we back in the Alpha Payton situation for an offense thing. I'm talking about shooting only. I'm not talking about getting in the rim. If you put Ben Simmons on the perimeter, he is Alpha Payton. And I think that, to me, you going backward from that standpoint. And other than his defense is the best in the Ben Simmons' defense probably is the best in the business, almost basically. I just think that I won't want to give an RJ to me because I think like if you look at his maturation, rookie year, 14 points, low shoot percentage. Second year, he got better because that's what he do. He's a worker. He want to get better at his game. This year, RJ Barrett going to be a problem for a lot of cats because now his third year, he know the NBA, he know the game. He not coming in there, the rookie, don't know the big guys. He got the body type. I mean, he know how to play the game. He know how to put the ball on the floor, go through the hole. His 3-point shooting is picked up, man. So come on. I mean, now if you ask me if it was somebody like maybe a Dame Lillard or somebody, it's different because his offense level is amazing. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying RJ Barrett's not movable. I wouldn't move for Ben Simmons. Not in a package.
Yeah.
No, I ain't doing that.
I'll say I'm a fan of Simmons. Obviously he's a two-way player. I just don't think he's the best fit for here. I think on a good team, he can be much find a better fit than Philly. You're trying to run your whole offense through half-court offense through Embiid. Every single time in the playoffs, and then Simmons can't really shoot. It's not a good fit. Simmons on an up tempo team,
right?
That's chaos,
right?
And a guy that doesn't need a team that doesn't need his scoring. He can just distribute 10 assists every night, 10 rebounds, 10 points. He's a good player. I think it's just not the right trade fit for us.
I agree with you, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want Simmons on the Knicks. I'm saying I'm not giving up RJ in that deal. Now, if you want to say $10 million Alec Burks contract, $10 million Nerlens Noel, Kevin Knox is $5 million, that's 25. You throw a couple of for 3 first-rounders, that's a different story. But I'm not giving up an RJ for in a Ben Simmons trade. Not me.
Obi? Would you trade Obi or quickly?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. In a heartbeat. For Ben Simmons, absolutely. I would trade Obi quickly. Noel, Alex Burks, 3 picks for that dude, but I'm not giving up RJ Barrett though. Because RJ Barrett game, 2 years from now, y'all gonna be like, all-star, blah, blah, blah. That's what y'all gonna be saying about RJ in the next couple of years. You know what I mean? So why would you give up a future all-star, young dude? Young Ben Simmons, young too, but RJ is a young dude, and his game is just getting better, man. He came in, he wanted to be here. Did Ben Simmons want to be a Knick? No, RJ Barrett wanted to be a Knick. You know what I mean? That means a lot to me. But will I take RJ Barrett? Absolutely. I'm a Ben Simmons. Absolutely. You put Ben Simmons on the Knicks is a problem. We already know that. So don't get it twisted. But I ain't giving up RJ Barrett. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and there's different ways to use Simmons. You know,
right?
Mm-hmm. Josh likes him at the 5. That's an interesting look. I think that for parts of the game, that would be a nice small ball lineup.
Absolutely.
That's part of. I've been saying Obi Toppin at the 5. We need to see more of that. Obi Toppin can do it all. Can pass, shoot, and now score. He could be a problem next to Julius for years to come.
Yep.
We don't always need a defensive center for 48 minutes. Get me a lineup where all 5 can score.
Yeah, I mean, I like Ben Simmons at the 4. See, that's what Philly should have did. Philly could have threw him at the 4. You know what I mean? You got and put Tobias Harris at the 3. You know what I mean? And I think Philly would have been a better team with Ben Simmons. But I just think that his game is open court. When you get Ben Simmons in a half court game, it's hard. Yeah. It's hard. You know what I mean? It's literally like Alfred Payton. It's hard. So that's my only gripe with him is that you put him on a team like the Lakers or the Warriors, who them cats run up and down that floor, and you can't put a set defense on Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons will destroy you. But when you got him in a half court game, you got Embiid, like you said, clogging up the middle. Either he's gonna get his points off of rebounding, cutting, slashing, and it all depends. I just think that
you can game plan that in the playoffs. You can't have one in the playoffs. You can't have one player that's an offensive minus. They'll game plan. They'll foul that person. They'll 7 games a series. There's enough tape on Simmons, to slow him down. The thing is, Embiid is a lumbering center, and then your other superstar is best attribute is getting up and down. How do those 2 pieces fit? One player that's a heavy lumbering center with dodgy knees, and the other guy needs to get up and down. That doesn't work in the playoffs. If I was Philly, I would have made a decision 1 year ago. They're stuck with this mess because they refuse to believe that those 2 can take them all the way. And then you got Tobias Harris eating $35 million of your salary. You know what I mean? Your 3rd best player is making $35 million. We don't even have one player making $35 million. Our best player could be making $8 million. Kemba Walker.
Yeah, I that's what I'm saying, man. I think is and I like Bennett for the, like. Don't get me wrong, guys. It was from Kawhi Leonard's jump shot to bounce off the rim. We might be singing a different tune about them dudes. You know what I mean? Let's not get it twisted. It was for Toronto Raptors. Kawhi Leonard hitting that baseline jump shot at the end of that thing to put them in the Eastern Conference Final, whatever, but Eastern Conference Quarterfinals. We might be singing a whole different tune about Philly and Ben Simmons. But unfortunately, Kawhi Leonard in that Game 7 hit that shot and they lost. But Ben Simmons is a monster. He's one of the best players in the game for what he do with his skill set. So we have to see. But I just don't know right now. I'm like, RJ is a man to me. I think this cat going 2 years from now, we're gonna be talking about RJ like you talking about Ben Simmons 2 years from now. Watch, because that's what that's his mission. He's one of them players, like Elton Lee made a great point. RJ Barrett was groomed for this stuff. You know what I mean? his parents was, you know, his father's an athlete, mother's an athlete. He come from a hardworking coach or somebody who wanted, that's what his dream. When I seen RJ, the young kid, wearing that Nick hat in that car, you know what I mean? This kid wanted to be a Nick. And it's a lot of guys who want to come to New York, but they don't only want to come here just to get the money. RJ Barrett want to be a Nick. You know what I mean? And then I think that just bodes well too. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Good conversation though. Uncle Fulio, I'm glad you brought that up. And like I said, the Nets bench, deep. I mean, the Nets is deep. What the hell can you say? You know what I mean? They got a bunch of savvy veterans down there, and you got Claxton and all them young guys down there too. They're gonna be a problem. I think them in Milwaukee, I think after them in Milwaukee, anything is possible with everything else. I think you put them in Milwaukee 1 and 2. After that, 3 and down, that's anybody's game.
Could come down to health, like just 82 games. You know, we haven't had an 82 game season for 2 seasons now.
Right.
Could the grind, you know, get to some teams? You know, we always know there's an injury or two, you know, each season that plays a big key. So, you know, I think Brooklyn, you know, as long as their starting three can starting a big three can stay healthy, I think that they'll be there. Milwaukee will be there again. I think, yeah, from third on, you know, it's all there to play for.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hey, yo, salute to the chat, man. Y'all cats is on fire. I love it, man. Y'all keep it coming. Salute to everybody. Mike, Mill, Brewster for coming in here. Appreciate you, man. Make sure you like and subscribe. Jan, you know what it is, man. I like Jan because Jan competitive with his. Jan, we see you though. Next X Factor, Cameron Thomas. Yeah, you're right, Jan. Cameron Thomas gonna be a nice rookie. That boy, if he come out the gate balling, then the next gonna be a problem. So I agree with you, Jan, on that one. Cameron Thomas, he's a nice young talent there. You know what I mean? But that's what's so crazy about this, man. All these good rookies, but are any of them going to crack into these rotations? You know, when you look at the Knicks situation, nice as Grinder, McBride, and Mid, they ain't guaranteed. They still going to be situational. You know what I mean? They're still going to be situational with New York. So unless they go in there and ball out, you know what I mean?
That's how it go. Any team in NBA history that's competing for a top 4 seed should rarely play any rookie. You know, we're not the 8th, 9th team anymore. If you're competing for a top 4 seed, those rookies can have a seat and learn. You know, it's not the case in the past where they should just come in and get burned. If they prove it, let them outplay Alec Burks. Let them try to outplay, you know, quickly if he has a slump. You know, there'll be opportunities, but they have to earn it. You know, Tibbs ain't just dishing out minutes because, you know, he's trying to win the chip, you know, before he has to retire. And, you know, the best thing is we pick players that are contributors. You know, we didn't pick projects anymore. So let's see, you know, injury or two. I think Grimes can step in, you know, for Burks. If Burks has to sit out, we all know McBride is that backup. If Kemba or Rose or, you know, quickly have to sit, yeah, maybe it's McBride's turn.
Yeah. I agree. Hey, Nick P, I agree with you 100%. Joe Harris can ball out. You know what I mean? He just, you know, but when you got KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, how many shots he gonna get? You know what I mean? So I agree with you on that one, Nick P, for sure. Yeah, the Ron Sharp, Jan, he gonna be a nice young product down there. I'm a Tar Heel dude, you know what I mean? I'm in a Tar Heel state, man, and he in a couple of years he's gonna be nice. But like I said, a lot of these rookies, when you're on these championship teams, man, you know, they don't roll in the playoffs with a bunch of young cats. You know what I mean? That's just not the way the NBA works. You know what I mean? It'll be a good learning process for them. Because you hear a prime example. Not all of them are like that, but look at Emmanuel Quickie last year in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Struggle. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's a different thing. You got to have a certain. Only ones really produce was Todd Gibson and Derrick Rose. Let that tell you. You know, so it's going to be interesting. How that go? Be civilized said Brent Brown's system wasn't a better fit for Ben. System makes players absolutely, never the other way around. It took MJ 7 years before Phil got to him to be the best player in the universe. Absolutely, be civilized. Facts.
Right timing.
Yeah, Nets have all the stars. Those rookies don't need to just sit, just to hit just role players. Yep, absolutely, and that's he 100% right. They stack from 1 to 12 when it comes to veterans. You know what I mean? And players like that. So a lot of them guys is gonna be growing pains, sitting on the bench, taking those splinters, trying to learn the NBA and get beat up in practice and get better. Same thing for our guys. I think the Knicks going for it. They going for the second. They trying to get out the first round and third round. So it's going to be a different story in New York, man. But what them cats are doing against them cats in summer league is a different story when you're on the NBA level. Bigger, stronger, faster, more experience, know the game. It shut you down when you see in summer league. You don't know these guys. You just going up against cats. It's like a scrimmage almost. But when you get in the big leagues, you going up against way better competition. Way better, more experienced stars, guys who grown men, put it like that. The grown men, you're going up against grown men. So I just think that when it comes to the playoffs, if they can make it, if talent get them there, then that's fine. But like CT said, CT experience, man. That's what was crazy about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Since we're on Brooklyn, what do you think about this the vaccination mandate? There's talk that Kyrie Irving could be, could affect him. He might not want to, parlay that into a vaccination, and it's interesting to see. I think that someone's going to be affected. Because there's 3 teams that's affected in Warriors, Knicks, and Nets.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. This COVID thing going to throw a monkey wrench and everything, but I don't understand that to this day. A person to each his own. I'm not hating, but I'm just trying to use a logic behind all this. All right, guys, so don't get it twisted. I got my COVID shot in April and May, right on the arm. No different than the flu shot. So what would you rather have, COVID or get a vaccination shot? I don't get it. I just don't understand why everybody making a big deal of this thing. You know what I mean? What would you rather have, COVID, or you rather have something to protect you from getting COVID? It's just a shot. Ain't no different from a flu shot. I never took a flu shot in my life till last year. Never had a flu shot in my life till last year because COVID came. You know what I mean? But so I understand how people feel about it. I do. That's why I said I'm not knocking nobody. But from a basketball standpoint, if that's what your state mandated, you have to do what you got to abide by your state rules. You know what I mean? But and man, this shit is serious. CT, it's serious, dog. I mean, it's like, so I don't know what they're thinking about, man. But that's why the NBA could be so different. And now teams might not want to, guys might not miss home games because they don't got COVID and because they don't want to take a shot. So that means that when we play Brooklyn, you might not have none of their players. You know what I'm saying? Because they're creme de la creme guys. You know what I mean? Because if they ain't gonna take the shot, they won't be able to play the home games. Because New York's crazy. That's crazy, man. Come on.
And then you can allow Washington can come into town if a player's not vaccinated from Washington. They can play. They can play at MSG, but state-based players cannot. To me, I just don't know. Like I said, each to your own. Protect your health if you can, but right. Also people who don't want to, to stop them from doing what they do for a job or trade or to earn money for their family, all of that. I think it's thrown a big monkey wrench in this business. It really is. Wait till more states start doing it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know if Toronto can play in Canada anymore.
Yeah. Yep. It's a serious thing, man. It's a serious thing. It can affect the NBA in a lot of ways. It affects daily lives in a lot of ways. Like I said, not to make this a political thing and nothing like that, but we in some different times with this COVID stuff, man. You see what it did last year. You know what I mean? Come on, man. They had to play in a bubble the year before last. You know what I mean? So and if the Delta variant kick in, we can go back to that. You know what I mean? Then we really be pissed. Then now we can have fans back in the building. Things get shut down. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Let's be real. But you know what? That hopefully that don't take place, man. I hope everybody be able to come in this thing and be at full force with it, man, and get ready to enjoy the NBA, man. Like I said, whatever y'all do in life, just be be careful with it, man. Make it right decision, man. And the good thing about being American, you got choices. You know what I mean? You can take it or you don't got to take it. But it also can have an effect on your life too. If everything go well, I'm looking for the Knicks to be in here getting it popping. I'm looking for the Knicks to get it popping, CT. I think we're going to have a good year, guys. Don't sleep on the Knicks. Don't sleep on them. If you was happy last year like I was, then I was crazy in love with the Knicks last year. I've been a Knicks fan since the 70s, and we finally had some good things going on. 41-31. Team was balling, 9 wins in a row. One player making over $10 million, which was Julius Randle. Everybody else, we had a sub-minimal contract guy. We still put up 41 wins. You got to be optimistic about this year. And I think it's going to really be important that we maintain and get on a good run and do our thing. CT, I got the Knicks up there in the top 4. I really do. I'm just looking at it from what I if everything go into place, like Uncle Fulio said, if Kemba Walker stay healthy, if Mitchell Robinson stay healthy, and Evan Fournier produce like he did all his career, just give me your career numbers. Just do what you do best. If them guys give me their career numbers, or play to their career level, not their career numbers, because obviously the ball gonna they probably dip a little bit with all that scoring. So everybody not gonna be able to score the same amount of points that they wanted to do throughout their career, because now you got a lot of scores in there. But you stay efficient, consistent, Knicks would be a good team. They'd be a good team.
Facts, yeah, I can't remember how excited I've been heading into any season. We can put our roster up against any team any night and have a chance to beat them on the road or at home. We haven't had a starting point guard alone with this talent, for many, many years. And we're bringing a returning All-Star, Julius, returning All-NBA. We've got young pieces that can make that leap. It's exciting, that I wish I could be there opening night. I'm glad you'll be there. I hope Knicks Real Talk will give us the scoop.
Yes, indeed. I'll be in the building.
Good matchup against Boston. I think we'll finish with that W on that night, and ready to get it popping.
Yeah, I think so. I think we go in there and beat Boston that first game. That guard gonna be buzzing, man. Kemba Walker back in the building. Cardiac Kemba with the step back gonna be in the building. Fournier gonna want to say, "Listen, y'all ain't want to resign me." Mitchell Robinson to be back. Come on, man. I'm like, I'm ready for this thing, yo.
Holler at us from courtside. You sitting courtside? Yeah.
Oh, no question. I'm gonna be right there, man. Wherever I be at, y'all just look for the Knicks Real Talk brand. I'm gonna have I'm gonna salute to the chat, salute to the family. I'm definitely gonna be up in there, and then I'll be back on my birthday, December 14th. I'm going to the Warrior game. I'm gonna be up in the building on that night. And then November 12th, like I said, I think down here in North Carolina, I'm going to see them in Charlotte. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that'd be great. Tickets will be cheaper, I'm guessing, as well.
Yeah. I hope so, man.
At the Spectrum Center, is it? Is it Spectrum Center?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. We're about an hour from Yep. It's gonna be fun. I get to see LaMelo Ball, what he could do. They got a good team in Charlotte. They did pretty good this year as well. You got Gordon Hayward coming back. Yeah, they picked up they re-signed Scary Terry. You know what I mean? They brought in what's my man's name? Kelly Oubre. They had Broke Knight in the draft. They got a good team down there. They still got PJ Washington, all them guys. So they're gonna be an interesting team as well. I think they're gonna be fighting for that play-in for sure. This year.
Yeah, they got LaMelo, Hayward,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of pieces. PJ Washington.
Mm-hmm.
That's an up and coming team.
Right.
Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be no easy matchup against them, but I'm ready with our point guards. Julius locked up.
Mm-hmm.
The sky's the limit. I think we're a problem for the league, and I think they're underestimating us again. Look at the moves we made. They're giving us the over/under Vegas 40, 42, 41. I'm taking that over.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Yeah, right. Vegas could kick rocks. 22 wins last year. Yeah, we doubled that almost. Vegas, they D-Ross, I agree with you. 8-2 coming out the start, first 10. I can see that. No question about it. Nick P said Bullock was whack offensively in that and challenge. And that's what I'm saying. Now you put Evan Fournier in that spot. Come on, Jan. We got to get you on the bandwagon, Jan, because you throwing too much against the Knicks in the chat, man. We got to get you. We got to make you a believer, Jan. We got to make you a believer, my brother. Come on now. You got to hop aboard this ride. We did that last year with Julius Randle. And
hop on now before we go undefeated in the preseason. Yeah.
Right.
It's going to go up. Those overs unders will go up by Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got the Knicks at 50. I had them at 50. I had them at 50 easy.
Yeah,
I did.
I
really
see
do.
that.
I just think they got. I think they got a good team. I just think they got a good team. And what's amazing, what's interesting to me, they bring it back continuity. You know what I mean? And a lot of teams come out the gate, they got to learn how to play together. The Knicks don't got to do that. Here's Boston. Boston got a new coach, new players, so they got to get acclimated together. The Knicks don't got to do that. When the Knicks come to training camp, they already know what Tom Thibodeau do. They already know what he want. They already know what he stand for. You got to remember, the only two players that's new is beside the rookies is Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker. Everybody else been there. Everybody been there. So it's not like we coming in training camp trying to figure everything out. No. Knicks already know what they. That's why I can understand what D. Ross saying about 8-2, because the Knicks already know who they are. A lot of these teams got to get to know their players. They got to get to know their coaches. They got to figure out their tendencies. Knicks don't got to do that. That's why they brought Noel and them back. You got to keep it intact. But why continuity is important, because if you don't know what your man doing next to you, then you're not going to be efficient. Them cats know what they do. You know what I mean? They know what Julius Randle do. They know what R.J. Barrett do. They know what Mitchell Robinson do. They know what Fournier and Kemba Walker can do. But look at our whole benches, our benches. All them cats play together. All of them. D. Rose, Alex Burks, Quickly, Obi, and Noel. Them cats ain't gonna have no chemistry issues, and I think that's important, because I think continuity and chemistry is everything. So I'll give with Mike and D. Rod. Yeah, I think they sleeping on our Knicks, man. I just think they sleeping on. I think that team got continuity. They got chemistry. They don't got to worry about how Tibbs coach. They know how Tibbs coach. You know, so I just think it's a big difference when you already know the system. You know what I mean? When you know what the system detailed and what it takes to be in the system. The Knicks as our team this year already know that coming into training camp, except for the rookies and Kemba Walker and them. And because they savvy veterans, they can adapt quick. It ain't like Kemba Walker's a rookie. You know, basketball is about shooting, dribbling, passing, blah, blah, blah. Once you learn the system, then it's a whole different story. And Kemba Walker, that ain't gonna be hard for him.
Kemba Walker is going to be hype. Think about this. Coming home, the place that raised him, coming off a down few years for Boston, right. Coming off losing years with Charlotte. Man, this man out here to want to show I'm here. I'm still here. Don't forget about Kemba Walker. That alone is going to get people hype. Then you talk about if one youngster makes a leap, like RJ, Quickly, or Obi, just one of them makes a giant leap, and that could take this team to the next level. To Josh's point, Kemba has to stay healthy, but we're not sweating too much. We got D Rose. D Rose can fill in a pinch. He's a starting caliber player. He just can't play the 38 minutes, regularly. But and people are sleeping on McBride. This cat can come here, pick you up full court. Lock you down like a hound dog. This guy is going to win Tibbs over, straight out. He can lock people up. If people thought Frank could lock you up, then man, this guy is going to earn the junkyard dog tag, He just comes here with that moxie. He's built for New York, and he can hit the three. He can play off the ball. He can shoot. I'm excited for that,
Yo, salute Jerry Walker in the building. Jerry, we see you, man. He said Brooklyn not going nowhere. Too many old men can't sustain 82. I'm with you, Jerry, on that, man. I'm with you on that one. I really believe that. They just like last year, they broke down last year. They'll break down again. They got a lot of miles on them bodies, man. And anything can happen when you got. And I know I'm an older guy, so I know every little twist and turn can mean something. You know what I mean? So I agree with you on that one, Walker, for real. Knicks just need to get rid of Dolan. Dolan, he ain't doing nothing. He good. He in the background, mind his business, getting that money. Yeah. GM, player, coach. Yes, indeed. Good talk about you guys are going in circles, repeating the same topic until next time. All right, Ben. We appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for chiming in, because it's late. We only got so much you can talk about. I just bet 40 we win the division 10 doing the 40 if I win. Hey, that is Will. Boy, you better. I'll take that bet too. I had to do that myself. I just bet $40 we win a division. 10-40 if I win. I might have to ante up by 1,000, which Will.
Hey, enjoy that dinner, Will. You may as well make reservation now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, I was tempted last season. I didn't put anything on, but I should have. We doubled our win total.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was easy money.
Yeah, that was, man. If I was a gambling man like that, boy, I'd have been straight last year. I've been straight last year. D. Ross was a man like that, though. See, he had some good predictions last year. I should have used D. Ross mentality last year because he was putting some good stuff on. I'm like, man, if I'd have bet that, I've been crazy. Yeah, man, but it's all, it's God, it's all good, man. It's great when we got a lot of great minds. Everybody can have their point of view, and that's what makes the show great. It's all about, the fans make the show. The show don't make the fan. Without y'all, ain't no Knicks Real Talk. Y'all already know. And that's why it's a pleasure having you cast in the chats, with all that supreme knowledge you guys spitting out there, man. That's what makes the show great. Because, like I said, man, it's about us, the family, Knicks Real Talk. And the chat is where it's at. You already know. And you guys be putting it out there, man. I love what you guys put out there. I think you guys are real wise and intelligent with what y'all do, man. And only different that we just got the platform. But I'm quite sure every one of you cats qualified to do that, man, because you cats some good, some wise guys out there, man. So y'all keep the chats coming, keep everything coming, man. We're gonna keep bringing to y'all Knicks Real Talk. Hit the likes and subscribe, man. Support the channel, man. Let's let this thing grow before we can get it bigger and better, get the call in and everything, man. So I'm like Obi Toppin and Manuel Cookie last year. I'm a rookie season, but the maturation will continue. Knicks Real Talk will be all over the place for sure. You know what I mean? And great guys like CT and my co-host. He ain't on tonight, but BX Sports, Bronx Jedi, my man, my brother. He how he do. So he ain't in tonight, but we just here, man. We content creators, man. Just trying to have fun with the family, man, and bring you cats some Nick content on the quiet time of the year when ain't too much going on. We just trying to bring some information to keep us in motion, man, till we get there. So we appreciate y'all coming on, man, and supporting the show and for giving us y'all feedback and your content. Keep dropping it. That's what y'all do. Keep dropping like it's hot. That's what y'all keep doing. Drop it up there, and I'll throw it up there. So salute to everybody in the chat. You already know. And everybody out there watching on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're checking us out from, not Twitter, but wherever you're looking at from, just, we appreciate you, man. We really do. You know what I mean? We got my man CT holding down across the universe over there in Australia. The streets is always buzzing with him. So we psyched, man, for sure.
Yeah, man, this thing's worldwide, The Knicks fans everywhere, every country in the world. We waited a long, long time. I can see the fans are excited in the chat. The chat's buzzing, Knicks Real Talk buzzing, ready to get it popping. Knicks Real Talk, you heard it, will be in the building, opening night, representing. Hopefully you bring us that good luck. I don't think we'll need it, but we're ready to make our mark. I think preseason's going to be real.
No, I think, man, that'll be crazy. Crazy.
Young talent, draft picks. We still got many picks as well. We're poised to make a big move if something becomes available. That's the thing about now compared to past years. And to the chat's point about they haven't felt this good about the front office, Mike. Since Ernie Grunfeld. I agree. Man, I feel good about this front office,
Yeah, absolutely.
They've earned my faith. I don't see them making any bad move, any deal that you're going to cry about or anything like that. Nothing like, once we get Joakim Noah off the books and, some of these other guys, with clean house,
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And real quick, salute to my man. If I may say his name right, I mean, Marvid, salute to you, Marvid. Thanks for chiming in, my brother. We appreciate you, Marvid. If I pronounce your name wrong, bear with me. But we appreciate you coming in tonight, Marvid, for sure. And yeah, man. And Dave Rod, you're right. Mitch gonna be in beast mode this year. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Mitchell Robinson. That's my big take this year for the Knicks. I think he can be a game changer for the Knicks if Mitchell Robinson stay healthy this year. And I literally mean that game changer. And then I think, like I said earlier, 41 wins. He only played 31 games. He won 41 games. if Mitchell Robinson played the whole season, you can put 5 more wins up there. You know what I mean? For sure. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, you can put 5.
Hungry.
Yeah, he's hungry, man. So that's why I think that 50 is reachable. No question about it.
Very reachable, Mitch, there's not really a center in the game like him anymore, You want to talk about blocking 3-point shots, alley-oops, rebounding. All it takes is him to evolve, and give us some kind of jump shot, mid-range, offensive weapon. It's a wrap, They should lock him up, give him a cheap, a fair deal, fair for both sides, and like we talked about. And I just think he's the better player out of Noel or him, moving forward. It's not even close, really. And that's no knock on Noel. I love what Noel gives us. He held it down, gives it his all. That's why we rewarded the man with that deal. But we'll take care of Mitch, and the sky's the limit.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, going into training camp with everybody signed, it should be a great. That's what I'm hoping to happen. I'm hoping they can sign him before you go into training camp. That way, everybody signed, other than the Exhibit 10 or whatever the case may be. But we pretty much got everybody signed, man. Now we not going into the season with no issues, nothing lingering. Not that it's an issue, but nothing lingering in the back. Well, what's going to happen with Mitchell all season? What they going? If they lock him up, they lock him up. If they don't lock him up, that tell you they're going to wait till the all season or they might move him. It's only a couple of things that happen. Either they're going to let him walk, or they're going to trade him at the deadline, or they're going to wait till the end of the season to see who competing against him. But then I don't know why they would want to do that, because then they don't want to get outbidded. If you really want to, I think if the Knicks really want Mitch, they lock him up before training camp. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they lock him up before training camp, and then that way, we good to go. We good to go for sure.
Yeah, peace of mind. They took care of Julius. We heard Julius talk about, security factor, taking the deal, helping the team. I think, to your point, I think Scott Perry is the biggest influence. He drafted the man. He drafted the man, and it believes in Mitch. I'll be surprised if they don't come to terms before the season. You want that thing locked up, especially coming off an injury. If I'm the player, I want that salary. I want that security coming in. I can just focus on balling out, earning my respect.
Yeah, Mark.
Salute to you.
Yes, appreciate to my brother, for real. Much love. And like I said, my man, we all just check for the notifications, man. You keep bringing it in the chat, man. We appreciate you. Appreciate you being part of the family. Appreciate you especially for supporting Knicks Real Talk, man, and supporting the show. And like I said, from a fan for the fans, Mark Vader, and thank you so much, my brother, and everybody else who ever subscribed to the channel, all the subscribers who helping us grow this content, man, and helping us get to another level. And I know it's Rome wasn't built in one day, but as I get better with it, and as we get more stuff going on, we're gonna have a call-in thing coming pretty soon. We're gonna really do some things in the Knicks Real Talk going into the season, man. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot of good things, a lot of more promo videos, and first and foremost, to have a chat button like y'all always do. That's what's Real Talk right there. So we just keep it going, man, and that's what it do, man. Y'all family, y'all already know. So nobody's content is taken for granted. Everybody's words mean something. You know what I mean? Your cast is phenomenal, man, and that's real.
Yeah, I second that. Salute to the chat. You're on fire tonight. Hope everyone's well. Can't wait for this season to start. We can probably start talking lineups. How things will play out preseason. I just can't wait. I think that we're being slept on. The Eastern Conference is wide open. I think I saw Will say that, or someone said we're last odds to win the Atlantic Division.
That's crazy.
That's disrespect. We got to be better than Toronto.
Yeah. Hey Mike. 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 Let me real quick. Hey Mike, you don't think the Knicks gonna send Mitch before the training camp? Hit me up. Let me know what you think, Mike. Throw that back out there.
You said you got to stay healthy, and then go for the bag. I think it won't hurt to take a short-term deal. Just get some security. You could throw in an player option or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They and it only got to be long term. Even you give them something like what you did Noel and Alex Burks and them. Give him 2 years with a team option. You know what I mean? You don't got to give him but I do think he can play an integral part on that team this year. I know that much. If he's healthy. Like I said, God, I looked out early in the chat. I threw a Mitchell Robinson stat. In his first year, he missed 14 games. In that bubble, in that shortened season, he played 61. He only missed 5 games. He played 61 games. I think something like that. And then 31 last year obviously was the one that messed him up. But I hope they sign my man. I like Mitchell Robinson. I really do.
Yeah. I think
how you guys see the Knicks moving forward, because I have a first round pick next year and the draft picks every year through 2006. This team is set for years to contend. Hopefully, I agree with you, Mel Bester. Absolutely, brother. Bester, Mel Bester. I agree with you 100%. The Knicks are set for a long time. I mean, they got draft picks, multiple draft picks, and they set. They're in a good place with that organization right now.
Yeah, they're set. They've got basketball minds running this organization.
Mm-hmm.
No more amateurs anymore. The right coach that can get us wins. Yeah, maximize the talent. That's the thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what Tibbs can do year 2 with more weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Brought in some vets, Fournier, Kemba. What do you think's going to be? Who's going to have the biggest impact this season?
Or the Knicks?
Yeah. Coach and players.
Wow, that's a good one. I do think Evan Fournier going to make a big difference. I definitely think he's going to make a big difference because, like I said, he can score 18 or 17, whatever you want to say, consistently. He can knock down that 3 ball. He's a good basketball player. I think he's that's the reason why Reggie Bullock got 10 and he got 18, 19. That's what people need to understand. Why you think Reggie Bullock got 10 million a year and why you think Fournier got 19 million a year or 8, whatever? Because that's the talent level is different. Like I always say, a point $1 million. For every point you make in the NBA, you get $1 million. Evan Fournier got 19 million because he could score 19 points. Julius Randle got 24 million because Julius Randle could score 20-something points a game. Reggie Bullock got 10 million because Reggie Bullock could score 10 points a game. He got 10 million. You know what I mean?
Hey.
I just think that that to me, I think it's gonna be Evan Fournier. I think it's gonna be Evan Fournier, and I'm gonna say Obi Toppin.
Oh, wow. Mel Bester says Grimes or McBride. Yeah, I agree with you. Fournier slept on. He's always been the best 1 or 2 players on every team he's been, but now he's the 3rd, 4th option. What happens when you start ignoring a player that's a 3rd or 4th option, of that talent? He's going to get wide open looks.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. He's going to benefit off Kemba, off Julius. Coaching. We know Tibbs is close with Steve Clifford, who coached Fournier for a long time. And also Fournier wants to be here. He signed as a free agent. He chose here. When a player's hungry, coming into a team that he desired, 29 years old, he's ready for this step in his career to step up. Yeah, I think we're going to love Fournier,
Mm-hmm.
To me, I can't go past the Kemba deal. I'm just excited on a nightly basis to see the point guard do things that we haven't seen since Stephon Marbury do things,
Mm-hmm.
Get to the cup at will, draw any foul in any crunch time moment, can pop the 3 like Trae Young does, can find assists, can get 10 assists if he wants any night. I just hope Kemba comes in healthy. Yeah, he can average 19 a night, from a point guard position.
Mm-hmm.
That's just going to take things off Julius Randle's plate. Like last year, Julius Randle came into every night thinking, I've got to put up 30.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now he looks next to him and it's like another 4-time All-Star.
Right. That was crazy. And that's what the thing about Kemba Walker is so interesting. 4-time All-Star, 3rd team All-NBA, been in the league 10 years. I mean, you couldn't get a better veteran than that for $8 million, dog. $9 million. You know what I mean? Like, well, Mel Bester, Grimes is a sleeper though, because I think that's Houston 2.0 right there. I think he's gonna be a sleeper. I don't know if he cracked the rotation yet. I don't know. That's why training camp gonna be crazy. because these guys are going to be battling it out. I mean, I wish I had front row seat to that gym room. They're going to be going that in Terrytown, brother. You best believe it. But I think it's going to be fun though. It's definitely going to be fun. Everyone forgets Kemba is one of the best players to play at MSG. He was like the third best scorer in the league at MSG outside of LeBron and all the other players. Another player playing for him, hometown would help. Absolutely. I agree. Yep. Hey, listen, I still get chill bumps when I hear Cardiac Kemba. I still get chill bumps to this day. I got a new promo video I'm putting out for us, guys. I got a little montage for us. I put together. Hopefully I could do it not before the season. I might do it before the season or right close to it. It's just a montage that I would like my other promo, but it's pretty nice. I'm happy with the way it's going. I think it's going to be fire, though. And I got all the Cardiac Kemba with the step back. It's crazy. It's going to be nice. So, yeah, Kemba going to be – he's going to light the garden up, man. He's going to light the garden up. I think he's going to be real well in there, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for everything. But listen, man, we're going to get ready to get up out of here, man, because I do got to grind tomorrow early. And, yo, salute to everybody in the chat, man. And you already know what it is. So everybody there watching out on where you streaming it from, man. I appreciate y'all checking out the show late night on a Friday. And like I said, man, you up in the New York area, New Jersey area, and y'all just be safe up there. Hope everybody gets back to normal. And I know that hurricane was something, man. But in my thoughts and prayers are with everybody up there, man. Y'all just stand strong, and hopefully this thing all that stuff, y'all get back to normal. And New York is tough, man. Jersey, New York, all that. The tri-state is tough. Ain't nothing we can't handle up there, man. You already know. Elton Lee, salute, my brother. And CT, man, Streets Above, give me your last words, man. Then we're gonna get up out of here.
Hey, we're ready to get it popping, ready to go to war. The time is coming. Training camp's going to be crazy, like you said. Can't wait for these videos to drop. And what else, you've got coming. It's always been real. Nick's Real Talk. We keep it real. We listen to everyone in the chat. All your education. For you, Divine, as well. It's been a pleasure. And let's keep the train rolling.
Yeah, facts, man. Yeah, salute to the chat. Will, Elton, D. Ross, Jerry Walker, Mel Bassett. Thanks for coming in, Bester, man. We featured, man, everybody, man. Be Civilized, Mike Lugo, all the family, man. That's what it is. Mike, everybody. We family up here. Nick P, Marv, Frank Matos, D. Ross, Be Civilized, everybody. With Jan, my man. We got to work on Jan a little bit. We got to get Jan over to the other side. But we'll get on there, though. But yeah, man, it's been fun, man. Great show. Ben Dober, thank you for coming in to you as well. We got to get you to the other side as well. But it's been fun, man. And listen, man, y'all just check out for the notification. I try to drop on Sunday. If my wife having an event there, she having a pop-up shop. I got to work with her on that event she having. But later on Sunday night, man, if anything come down the line, man, I'll definitely come back on, man. So y'all just check for the notification and hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all so much, man. And y'all be safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. For sure, man, and just do the right thing and be safe, man. And let's get ready for training camp, man. I'm getting psyched, man. I'm ready for this ball to get rolling. For we can have a good season like last year and be happy as Knicks fans. Been a long time since we've been feeling like this here, man. 8 years ago, whatever the case be, 9 years ago, man. So now we in a new time, a new era with Knicks basketball. The organization is in a good place. We got a lot of good young talent. We got good players. We got a ton of draft picks going forward. We got flexibility with cap space, so we good, man. I think the Knicks is good, and we're going to keep it moving. Until the next time, to the family, yo, peace out, man. I'll see you cats on the next episode. Salute. Yo, salute. Knicks Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Knicks Real Talk, we all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine, Bronx, Jedi, 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Knicks Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight.
Knicks Real Talk, let's get it poppin'. We hoppin' like toppin', and the Jumpman brand ain't no stoppin'. Divine and Bronx out our 7-6. We live from Facebook, Twitter to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno with the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them lights below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up, cause it's Knicks Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Now you place the chats, my pace at under space while faces at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle throughout the handle on the panel. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Knicks Real Talk. Knicks Real Talk.